Chapter 100. Xiangyi's mind was completely silent and blank. After a full 10 seconds, she came to her senses. She took a few steps back and almost fell because she was in such a hurry. I'm sorry. The girl stammered. Although she had traveled through many worlds, she had always been someone's assistant. She had never walked the emotional line, and had no experience in dealing with this kind of situation. The blush spread from her ears to her slender swan neck. I didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. How did I kiss him? How can I kiss my Zai Zai? Shui blinked. He leaned against the wall lazily, obviously in a relaxed and leisurely posture, but his expression was somewhat innocent. When the movie king acted as a naive and sweet person, he was more skillful and natural than a certain kitten. Xiangyi wanted to slip away and was about to escape, but she saw the man lowered his eyebrows, his eyelashes forming a faint shadow on his cold and handsome face. His voice was hoarse and tinged with grievance. You kissed me. This shouldn't be considered a kiss. The girl swallowed her saliva and said cautiously. The man acted as if he didn't hear, his clear and clean voice faintly resentful. No girl has ever kissed me. Xiangyi remembered that when he had just debuted, he had been criticized by the industry for refusing to act in emotional scenes. They said that he was not dedicated enough as an actor. Of course, Shui later used his own acting skills to shut all those who questioned him. Xiangyi thought that he had never acted in emotional scenes on the screen, but he should have done it in real life. After all, he was 27 years old. It was normal for a normal man to have a few love experiences at this age. She suddenly felt a strong sense of guilt. Xiangyi stuttered for a long time, but in the end she still apologized. I'm sorry. The man raised his head and forced a smile. It's nothing. You don't have to take it to heart. It was just an accident. I'm also at fault. The more he said this, the more Xiangyi blamed herself. How could she not take it to heart? She had kissed Zai Zai's collarbone. Zai Zai didn't do anything wrong. Not at all. It's all my fault. Xiangyi had yet to realize that she had successfully fallen into the trap of a certain black and white actor. Senior, if there's anything you want to eat in the future, just tell me. I'll definitely make it for you. Shui looked down at him, her eyes gentle and innocent. Really? Is this compensation? This is what I should do. Xiangyi laughed dryly. Then I'll go cook. This time Shui didn't stop her. Instead, he stared at the girl's slender back as she entered the kitchen. Only then did the corners of his mouth curl up. It was quite interesting to play with children. In the kitchen, Xiangyi was preparing the ingredients. He sliced the fish cleanly and neatly. After removing the fish bones, the thin fish fillet glowed with a crystal clear and moist feeling. Discordant cries suddenly fell upon her ears. Where's Xiangyi? Where was she? I want to see her. Now, immediately. Xiangyi frowned slightly, wiped her hands and walked out of the kitchen. The living room was a mess at this moment. Xiaoyang was dressed in a formal suit and his hair was combed into a shiny back. He looked like he had come from a banquet. To be fair, his facial features were considered handsome. Dressed like this, he looked like a rich young master. When he saw Xiangyi, Xiaoyang, who had been babbling non-stop, suddenly shut up and stared straight at her. Why did this woman look like she had plastic surgery? She was too beautiful. Why don't I reluctantly reconcile with her? Chapter 101. Recalling the delicacies Xiangyi had made during the live broadcast, and then looking at her face that was still beautiful without makeup, Xiaoyang's heart began to waver. Bai Ruoruo heard the commotion, and came out of the room. Seeing Xiaoyang looking at Xiangyi with infatuation, her heart thumped. She quickly stepped forward and grabbed his arm, calling softly, Brother Xiaoyang. Xiaoyang came back to his senses and coughed. Ruoruo, I heard you were injured, so I came to see you. Brother, you're so busy, yet you still took the time to see me. Isn't it too hard? Bai Ruoruo said gently. She knew Xiaoyang liked this the most. But today, Xiaoyang didn't greet her like he usually did. Instead, he looked at Xiangyi. Come here, I have something to say to you. Xiangyi raised an eyebrow. Wasn't the money from last time enough? It would have been better if she didn't mention it. Now that she did, Xiaoyang suddenly remembered the 2 million from that day. This woman was simply humiliating him. Who cares about your stinky money? Xiaoyang roared. Who the F***ck are you yelling at? Try saying another word. Xiang Yu opened his mouth as fiercely as a bandit. Xiaoyang didn't know about his relationship with Xiang Yi and said with a sense of superiority, I'm talking to my girlfriend, it's none of your business. Bai Ruoruo whispered, It's an ex-girlfriend. Shi Sui, who was sitting on the sofa, narrowed her eyes slightly. Xiang Yu looked at his sister with an expression of disbelief. Even Xiang Yi could guess what he was thinking. Look at your eyes. How did you find such a thing as your boyfriend? She was slightly embarrassed. Although this boyfriend was the one who had taken over her body, she was the one who took the blame. Sighing, Xiang Yi asked, If you have something to say, just say it. Xiaoyang apologized to Ruoruo. Your cat bullied her, and you bullied her. I'm here to support Ruoruo. Xiang Yi slowly typed out a question mark. For a moment, she didn't know who was more brainless, him or the one who had taken over her body. She didn't know who was the scumbag between the two. Xiang Yi, who had transmigrated through countless worlds, naturally wouldn't get angry over such a trivial matter. She lazily crossed her arms and sat on the sofa, crossing her slender white legs. She lightly clicked her tongue and said, Okay, tell me, how did I bully her? Xiaoyang was speechless. He suddenly felt that Xiang Yi's sitting posture he was a big shot. He obviously liked the delicate and innocent type, but when he saw Xiang Yi's face, his heart started to beat wildly. He calmed himself down and said confidently, Don't think that I don't know that you're just jealous that Ruoruo and I are together. That's why you deliberately targeted her. You embarrassed her in front of so many people during the live broadcast. That's equivalent to slapping my face. You have to sincerely apologize. Xiang Yi propped her elbow on the armrest and held her small face with one hand. Her eyebrows were slightly curved. What if I don't apologize? The girl's bright smile was more dazzling than the sea of flowers outside the floor-to-ceiling window. Xiaoyang's heart was like fireworks, exploding nonstop. He swallowed his saliva and unconsciously lost his momentum. It's fine if you don't apologize. I don't think you did it on purpose. Bai Ruoruo. She came to find Xiaoyang to settle accounts with Xiang Yi. According to Xiang Yi's personality in the past, she would definitely lose her temper again. She didn't know that the more she did, the more Xiaoyang hated her. But today Xiang Yi was so arrogant. Why was Xiaoyang so mesmerized? Where did this woman go to sign up for a vixen training course? Chapter 102. Uft. Xiang Yi couldn't help but laugh out loud. She hooked her finger at him. Come here. The girl's smile was sweet and beautiful, and Xiaoyang's heartbeat began to accelerate again. What's going on? Is this the feeling of being in love? Brother Xiaoyang. Bai Ruoruo panicked and weakly leaned against him. Xiaoyang didn't care about her at all and trotted forward to Xiang Yi. Bai Ruoruo, who almost missed him. Xiaoyang cleared his throat and said condescendingly, If you want to get back together, I can consider giving you a chance. F***ck. Xiang Yu exploded on the spot. Who do you think you are to treat her like this? Although he didn't like this man, if his sister really liked him, he could endure it. But he dared to treat her sister badly? Endure? Endure my ass. I can't endure it. Xiang Yi raised her hand and motioned for him to be quiet. She smiled at Xiaoyang. I see that you're so handsome, tall, and have a good personality. In a few words, Xiaoyang was praised to the heavens. He thought to himself, this woman must love me to death. But then he heard a sweet and gentle inquiry. Then, do you know how to kill rabbits? Do you know how to skin them? Do you know how to gut them? Xiaoyang. Xiang Yu. Bai Ruoruo. Not far away, Shi Sui seemed to understand something. Her lips hooked up. You can't even do that? Hey. Xiaoyang couldn't stand this provocation and shouted. Who said I can't? Isn't it just killing rabbits? Half an hour later, Xiaoyang was vomiting in the bathroom. Fortunately, the rabbits were killed, and Xiang Yi had Xiaoyang wash the meat clean. Her zodiac was Rabbit, and her nickname was Tutu. She usually didn't kill them herself, but Tutu was naturally freshly killed to taste delicious, so Xiaoyang a tool that came to her door, was a waste not to use him. Just then, the live broadcast began. Li Jinyu personally brought Old Li over to film Xiangyi cooking. He had already accepted the setting of cooking when it was time. The netizens in the livestream flooded in, and their enthusiasm was amazing. "Ah, Tutu is so cute, you died so happily, cough so pitiful. Little Vase's knife skills are amazing. How can the fish fillet be so thin? Sister E, slow down. I'll bring my bowl over first." Heh, the person in front is obviously inexperienced. Dinner, fruits, and snacks have already been prepared. It's time for the mukbang. The rabbit meat was cut into small pieces, so that it would be easier for the flavor to enter. After adding cooking wine, green pepper, star anise, chives, and sliced ginger to marinate, Xiangyi began to prepare another poached fish fillet. She placed the thinly sliced fish fillets into boiling water until they were half-cooked, then placed them into a soup bowl covered with a layer of cooked bean sprouts, tofu, and shredded konjac. She heated up the oil, then added pepper, chili, and other spices to fry them until they were fragrant. Finally, she poured the hot oil over the ingredients. The temperature of the oil was extremely high, and it would cook the ingredients a second time, creating a unique and spicy taste. At the same time, the rabbit meat was almost done marinating. She added a large amount of rapeseed oil and quickly stir-fried it. Then she added small pieces of dried chili and handmade chili powder, supplemented with white sugar, MSG, balsamic vinegar, and other spices to slowly reduce the flavor. When it was placed on a plate, there was even a sizzling sound. Both dishes were spicy. The chili was bright red, the fish was white, and the rabbit meat was golden yellow. It was very visually pleasing. Gulp. Li Jinyu and the others began to gulp. Xiao Yang, who was in the living room, couldn't sit still. How can it be so fragrant? I must eat 2 bowls of rice later. Chapter 103. In the kitchen. Xiangyi cooked another plate of egg-fried rice and 2 vegetarian dishes. When she was done, she poked her head out of the kitchen. "The food is ready, come and serve it." Xiao Yang was the first to rush over. I'll do it." He quickly began to roll up his sleeves, completely forgetting the purpose of his visit. There was only one thought in his mind: eat. The comments in the stream. Where did this person come from? He's a bit good-looking, but why is he so oily at such a young age? Isn't this Bairuoro's boyfriend? He seems to be a rich young master from a wealthy family. So he's here to accompany Bairuoro? He seems quite warm. When Xiao Yang took the initiative to serve all the dishes and everyone was about to eat, they suddenly heard Xiangyi's surprised voice. Mr. Xiao, aren't you leaving? Xiao Yang froze. The girl blinked innocently. I didn't say I wanted you to stay for dinner. Xiao Yang. And Miss Bai, tonight's dishes are high in calories and not suitable for someone like you who's on a diet. Here, I've prepared your diet meal. Xiangyi slowly pushed over a plate of boiled broccoli and 2 egg whites. Bairuoro. The people who hated Xiangyi in the comments were extremely excited, thinking they had caught her in the act. What kind of hospitality is this? She's already finished cooking and she's chasing her away? I can't stand you guys calling her a little vase. Is she worthy? She's just an actress who relies on her face to make a living. The vase fairy was probably the kind of person who bullied others when she was a student. Look at how much she's targeting Bairuoro. She won't even let her eat. That's too much. Xiao Yang's face alternated between green and white. The aroma of the delicious dishes on the table rushed to his nose, but his heart was filled with regret. It was all his fault. He had hurt Xiangyi's heart. His eyes were filled with pain. Xiangyi, I know I was wrong. Can you forgive me? Xiangyi called Shi Sui and Xiangyu to eat first and asked with a smile. What did you do wrong? When Xiao Yang saw her smile, his soul almost left his body. I shouldn't have cheated on you. I shouldn't have been with Bairuoro and hurt your heart. Bairuoro's face instantly turned pale. She grabbed Xiao Yang's arm. Brother Xiao Yang, don't joke around. Xiao Yang pushed her away and said sternly, It's all your fault. If you hadn't seduced me, would I have betrayed Xiangyi? You should sincerely apologize to Xiangyi for ruining our relationship. Xiangyi. Very well, it has been confirmed that he is a brainless person. Bai Ruoruo burst into tears. This was a live broadcast. Xiao Yang's words would ruin her. In the live stream, the audience was dumbfounded. F***CK? So Xiao Yang dated the vase fairy and cheated on Bai Ruoruo? Ugh, I thought he was a nice guy, but I didn't expect him to be such a scumbag. He said such things on the live stream. Not only did he morally kidnap Xiangyi, but he also ruthlessly ruined Bai Ruoruo. It's too scary. If I met a man like him, I would die from anger. On the side, Xiangyi was suddenly enraged. Why don't you take a look in the mirror? How dare you cheat on her? Xiao Yang was moved by his heartfelt confession. He looked at Xiangyi expectantly. A prodigal son turning over a new leaf is more precious than gold. Baby, can you give me a chance? Xiangyu said angrily. Are you worthy of calling her baby? Who do you think you are? Xiao Yang said unhappily. And who are you? He had already insulted him twice today. It was as if he had eaten a firecracker. Xiangyu slammed the table, and the dishes on the table shook, splashing out bits and pieces of soup. Who am I? I'm her brother. Brother. Chapter 104. As the young esports god's voice fell, the scene fell silent, and the comments in the live stream seemed to have frozen. 1 second, 2 seconds, boom. The netizens in the live stream exploded. What the F***CK? Brother. Smog and the vase fairy are siblings. In reality, Xiao Yang was stunned for a few seconds, and his face changed faster than flipping through a book. He smiled apologetically. So it's my brother-in-law. Sorry for the disrespect. Let me toast you, brother-in-law. Brother-in-law was how Nanqing addressed his wife's brother. Xiangyu started to trash talk as soon as he heard that. Do you think you're making keys? Do you deserve it? What do you deserve? Xiangyi covered his mouth in time and said seriously, brother will be banned from the live stream if he swears. Sensing his anger, the girl coaxed softly, brother, don't pay attention to him. He's not worth your anger. The esports god, who had been fuming just now, calmed down in a second and looked at the girl in front of him in disbelief. Ah, my sister called me brother. She even called him twice. Twice. He calmed down and said in what he thought was a cold voice, tell him to get lost. Little did he know that the corners of his mouth were about to reach his ears. Xiao Yang was still thinking about the food, and hurriedly said, even if we don't get back together, at least let me eat a bowl of rice. I killed the rabbit. You still want to eat my sister's cooking? You don't deserve it. Xiangyu was irritable again, and he zipped up his sweatshirt, looking like he was about to fight. Xiangyi calmly pressed on a certain acupuncture point on his arm. Xiangyu didn't know why, but he suddenly felt like he couldn't exert any strength. He looked at Xiangyi in confusion, and the girl returned him a gentle and warm smile. Brother, you're right. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve my cooking, and he doesn't deserve your hands. She gestured in the direction of the garden. The next second, a few bodyguards dressed in black appeared out of nowhere and carried Xiao Yang out of the room. They did not even bother to say a single word. Xiao Yang. Hey, let go of me. I order you to let go of me, do you hear me? Xiangyi, how can you do this to me? I haven't even had a bite of rice yet. The live stream was instantly filled with laughter. This scumbag doesn't look very smart. He's still thinking about food at a time like this. Ha ha ha, this means that our sister Yi's cooking is really good. Awesome. How satisfying. You have to be quick, accurate, and ruthless when dealing with scumbags. Don't give him a chance to disgust you. She actually has bodyguards. Sorry, I underestimated the little vase's family background. Warzi. Xiao Yang was thrown out of the manor. The entire world fell silent. The only person who felt like she was sitting on pins and needles was Bai Ruoruo. Her eyes were shockingly red, and her lips moved as if she wanted to say something, but not a single syllable came out. The others, on the other hand, were eating very happily. The cold-eating rabbit was crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. The oil flowed out with every bite, and the spicy taste permeated every bit of the meat. Xiangyi made 2 plates, one of which was spicy and suitable for Xiangyu. He ate until he was sweating profusely. The other plate was slightly spicy and was for sure Sui. The man slowly tasted it, his noble and handsome appearance, as if he was tasting a Michelin restaurant. The boiled fish fillet was smooth and tender, and it melted in the mouth. The bean sprouts, shredded konjac, and other vegetables inside were blanched in hot oil and chili, melting the freshness of the fish. With each bite of meat and vegetables, the wonderful taste slowly spread. Her taste buds felt like they would explode in the next second, constantly secreting saliva. Actually, I was also deceived by Xiaoyang. After holding it in for a long time, Bai Ruoruo finally managed to squeeze out this sentence. Xiangyi didn't even raise her eyes as she lightly said, "I won't pursue this matter. However, I checked the surveillance footage, and it was you who kicked Xiao Naofu first." Bai Ruoruo's back went cold, and she immediately felt extremely wronged. Didn't she just kick that stray cat? Why was she so calculative? Chapter 105. The comments section of the livestream once again went into a frenzy. Bai Ruoruo kicked Xiao Naofu? Is she crazy? I say. Xiao Naofu looks so obedient, how could it scratch someone for no reason? Why didn't the people who were shouting about euthanizing Xiao Naofu in the afternoon come out to dance? Their faces must have been smashed to smithereens. Actually, Bai Ruoruo is also. Forget it, I can't wash it off. I'm no longer a fan. A mistress abusing a cat. Even if I'm retarded, I'll still be her fan. Xiang Yu rubbed Xiao Naofu with heartache. Xiao Naofu was possessed by a coquettish spirit as it nestled in his arms. It doesn't hurt. Let's eat something delicious later, okay? Bai Ruoruo was extremely aggrieved as she complained. But it still scratched me. It's clearly your cat's fault, Xiangyi frowned. I think you've got the cause and effect wrong. You kicked Xiao Naofu first, which was why it acted in self-defense. Bai Ruoruo hated her to death. It was just a cat. How could it be compared to a human? Of course, she could kick Xiao Naofu, but it was wrong for it to scratch her. I understand, so I'm not even as good as a cat. Bai Ruoruo was on the verge of tears. Her eyes were red as she looked at Shui. There was still a glimmer of hope in her heart. No matter what, she was still in the same company as Shui. As someone who took care of his juniors, he wouldn't leave her alone, right? The man raised his eyes and met her gaze. His eyes were like the cold moonlight on the horizon. His thin lips parted slightly as he indifferently said, "Apologize." Bai Ruoruo felt as if she had been struck by lightning. Apologize? To Xiao Naofu? That was ridiculous. It's just a cat. Bai Ruoruo had just said this when she heard Shui ask coldly, "You only kicked the cat?" That voice was wrapped in an invisible and powerful aura that enveloped Bai Ruoruo. She trembled slightly as she remembered the words she had said to Xiangyi. But, didn't surveillance cameras generally not have sound capture? The next second, she heard Shui calmly say, "Little Rabbit Farm surveillance cameras are equipped with sound capture." In other words, the cameras had sound. Bai Ruoruo's eyes widened in horror. In the live stream? Oh my god, there's solid evidence. So it's not just cat abuse? Did he do anything else? He's probably scolding someone, and it's very likely that he's scolding Sister E. Otherwise, Shirindi wouldn't be so angry. Fan of the vase fairy in front, get lost. Are Shirindi won't look at your girl, okay? To be honest, it's so insulting to couple Miss Xiang and Shui together. Shui is a true best actor, but what does Miss Xiang have? The acting skills of pouting and glaring, or the singing skills of angering 10 sound reviewers to death? Bai Ruoruo knew that there was no chance of a comeback. She could only harden her heart and cut off all means of retreat. Okay, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. As she spoke, tears streamed down her face, as if she had been greatly wronged. I'll go, okay? I don't want to be an eyesore to you. She paused for a few seconds, but the surroundings were silent. Something awkward happened. No one asked her to stay, including all the staff of Two Under One Roof. Xiangyi would make afternoon tea or sugar water for everyone every day, and Xiao Naofu was so cute. They might not have as much influence as Bai Ruoruo as an artist, but they had the heart. Finally, Li Jianyu spoke. Okay, take care. We won't see you out. Bai Ruoruo left stiffly. The moment she walked out the door, She burst into tears. This time, her mentality had completely collapsed. Chapter 106. As soon as Bairuoro left, the atmosphere at the dinner table suddenly became very harmonious. Xiang Yu's slender white fingers rubbed Xiao Naofu's round belly as he secretly glanced at Xiang Yi. Sensing his gaze, Xiang Yi blinked and asked, "What's wrong, big bro?" "Ow. Did you hear that? Little sis calls me big bro so sweetly." He pretended to be cold and arrogant like a big boss. "Go get big bro a bowl of rice." If this had happened in the Xiang family in the past, if he dared to order Xiang Yi around like this, the family's sister-spoiling demons would have broken his legs. But today's Xiang Yu was Nyanhilu's Xiang Yu. 2 words, inflated. Xiang Yi smiled, indulging his childishness and willfulness as she obediently went to get him a bowl of egg-fried rice. Xiang Yu couldn't suppress the corners of his mouth. After tasting a mouthful of egg-fried rice, his eyes lit up and he instantly buried his face in it. He especially liked to eat rice. Xiang Yi's egg-fried rice was soft and chewy. In addition to egg, she also added shrimp, ham and peas. Not only was it rich in color, but it also had a rich texture. The live comments. "Smog is so childish, hahaha, but I think he's so cute." Sumeogo, a heartless eating machine. Did anyone notice that the little vase has never served Shiringdi a bowl of rice? Now that you mention it, it's true. Shiringdi has always served himself. What's with the vase fairy's attitude? Did you guys forget the hot post about the little vase snubbing Shiringdi? SSJJ Shursui sister, short for Shursui's fans, are still being stubborn, but it's obvious that your Shiringdi took the initiative to stick close to the little vase. Even if the little vase wasn't cold to him, she was still very polite and distant, okay? The netizens each brought their own magnifying glasses, and some even seemed to have brought a microscope. Soon, a post on the well-known gossip forum, Melon, went viral. Title: Every day, I find candy in the glass shards of the untimely CP CAC. Main post content: Greetings, Melon friends. I'm the OP of the previous post, taking stock of the famous scenes where Shiringdi was neglected. After watching the live broadcast of Two Under One Roof for 2 days, she had replayed countless clips of Shiringdi and Sister E in the same frame. To be honest, the two of them were too evasive. They were so polite that it was as if they were in an etiquette class. They were constantly saying thank you for your hard work. Sister E had been calling Shiringdi senior, up until now. The more polite she was, the more it meant that there wasn't much progress in their relationship. It was even possible that they were just being polite on the surface for participating in the show. But the sugar in the glass shards was really sweet. Sister E gave Shiringdi a little flower. Shiringdi put on glasses for Sister E. The scene of the two of them cooking together in the kitchen, living a peaceful life. There was also Sister E on the swing. His gentle gaze beside her could make me kowtow 100 times. I recommend watching it repeatedly. Just now for Sister E, he tore the little white flower apart. Okay, it's an exaggeration to say that he tore it apart, but he did speak up for Sister E. I don't care, I'm just protecting Sister E. As a CP fan, I don't ask for anything else. I just want Sister E and Shiringdi to be a little bit better. Online beautiful. JPG. As soon as the post was posted, it attracted the dissatisfaction of Shursui's sisters. OP, have you watched too many idol dramas? What's wrong with a lovey-dovey person like you? Haha, the OP might as well say that Shursui is licking the vase fairy's boots. You must have received a lot of PR fees, right? He's hopeless. Take him away. Next. I'll say it again, it's impossible between Shursui and the vase fairy. Chapter 107. At the same time, another OP had also posted a post. Title: I'm shocked. When I was writing a paper, I found an SCI paper by a certain female celebrity. The main post: OP is a graduate student in agriculture, majoring in resource utilization and plant protection. Recently, I've been going bald over my thesis every day. This afternoon, I found an amazing article. Firstly, it's really well written, and secondly, it has great reference value for my thesis. At that time, my roommate happened to be watching Two Under One Roof, to relieve stress and overheard Xiangyi's speech about how agriculture is the foundation of the country and agriculture is the priority. At that time, I thought that the celebrities in the entertainment industry were quite good. Then I accidentally saw that the name of the paper was also Xiangyi. At that time, I thought that it might be someone else with the same name. Then I looked at the school, which was one of the top 2 universities in the country. Out of curiosity, I couldn't help but check it out. Now the case has finally been solved. That's right, the paper was really written by that female celebrity, Xiangyi. I also found the topics she worked on during her undergraduate studies. How should I put it? She's at a level that I can't reach. Perhaps many people don't know much about SCI papers, but I'll give you the most common example. Publishing an article is no less significant than winning a gold medal in an international sports competition. The OP is in a trance now. Female celebrities in the entertainment industry are so amazing these days. I feel like I don't deserve to be in the scientific research field anymore. Smiley face angle. The first few dozen replies to the post were all question marks. Are you kidding me? You're telling me that Vase Fairy can publish an SCI paper? I'm dying of laughter. You're just bragging, aren't you? If you're so amazing, why did you enter the entertainment industry? The OP didn't debate with the netizens. Instead, he posted a link to the paper. The netizens opened the link to see that it was an all-English website. The terminology used in the article was very professional, but the name of the paper, it was really Xiangyi. The Melon forum was in an uproar, and countless posts popped up like mushrooms after a rain. The sensation level was even greater than that of a certain popular male idol's official relationship announcement not long ago. At the Xiang family's manor, the live broadcast was still ongoing. When they were almost done eating, Xiangyi got up and was about to wash the dishes when she heard a yell from the ground. Put it down. The girl shuddered in shock. Ahem. Xiangyi cleared his throat uncomfortably. Sit here obediently. We don't have the rule of letting girls do the dishes. Xiangyi's heart slightly moved. She vaguely felt that her brother's attitude towards her had changed. Was he finally willing to accept her again? The girl stared at Xiangyu in a daze, her eyes hazy with a trace of moisture. She was not a weak person. On the contrary, when she was about to cross worlds to complete her mission, she was very strong and determined. But perhaps everyone had a soft spot in their hearts. That was a person's weak spot, and also a person's reverse scale. Family was Xiangyi's biggest weakness. Because she had been treated with gentleness and love, she was able to persevere through countless times of despair. She moved her face away and said in a nasal voice, "Brother, you're so nice." Xiangyu was overjoyed by the compliment, and whistled as he went to wash the dishes. The trolls appeared again. I can't stand it, the Vase Fairy is so lazy. There are so many bowls, and you're letting your brother do it alone? Can an esports player do something as menial as washing the dishes? She's too delicate. Isn't it just washing a few bowls? What's wrong with girls doing more work? She doesn't know how to be considerate at all. Chapter 108. However, they had underestimated the number of Xiangyi's fans. As soon as these comments were posted, they were immediately rebutted. Some were irritable and angry. Damn it! Who's been cooking for the past 2 days? Doesn't it take much effort to cook? You guys are the only ones with mouths. Get lost. Some yin-yang masters were infuriating. It can't be helped. She just has her brother doting on her. Hee. What else can some people do other than be jealous? There were also the largest number of foodie fans. She cooks so well. Aren't you guys having fun watching her cooking as if it's a mukbang? You're the best at finding fault in everything you do, right? The haters were dumbfounded. Since when did the Vase Fairy have so many fans? What was even more embarrassing was, Xiangyu carried the bowls, chopsticks, and plates to the kitchen, then calmly and pretentiously, he put them into the dishwasher. The netizens were speechless. Master, I'm enlightened. No wonder the production team didn't film the scene of the dishwashing. This is a face-slapping variety show, right? They specialize in slapping the haters. If you don't behave, I'll slap your face until it's swollen. Ha 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 ha. I'm imagining the scene of the little vase washing the dishes like Cinderella. Sorry to disturb you, you're indeed a rich and beautiful lady. Hey, this dishwasher is not bad. Does anyone know what brand it is? It just so happens that my new house is renovating and I'm about to install a dishwasher. On this day, the sales of a certain dishwasher brand's online store suddenly skyrocketed. When the owner received the news, he was still a little confused. His dishwasher was made in China. It was of good quality and durable. Unfortunately, there had been no market for it in the country, and its sales were basically monopolized by several large imported brands. He had also thought about doing advertising, but after asking around, he realized that even an internet celebrity's Weibo advertisement could cost a six-figure sum, not to mention TV commercials and agent fees for live streaming. Hence, the matter of advertising was put on hold. Fortunately, because of the good reputation of the product, he had accumulated some fans and his online store's business was doing well. However, it was only doing well. However, today's sales were several times higher than last month's. After finding out the reason, the boss was moved and excited. He trembled as he typed on his phone for a long time. On his Weibo account, which only had less than 2,000 followers, he sent a thank you letter to Two Under One Roof and Xiangyi Zijingjing dishwasher. Thank you so much Two Under One Roof v Xiangyi V's publicity. Although it's not easy to produce local products should be self-reliant. Although we really want to sponsor your program, we are unfortunately short on funds. We would like to express our gratitude to your program and Miss Xiangyi. On behalf of the Clean and Dishwasher Company, we would also like to donate 100,000 yuan to charity and bear the social responsibility that a company should have. It was a screenshot of a donation. Usually no one would care about the Weibo posts made by this account. However, because of the keywords Two Under One Roof and Xiangyi, the number of views increased rapidly, and many netizens also reposted it. I just placed an order. I hope the quality won't disappoint me. The boss is so simple. Directly donating money is too practical. Hahaha Xiangyi, this female celebrity, is really amazing. On the first day of the live stream, she was selling clothes and hair clips, and now she's selling dishwasher products. Naive. In the past 2 days, Two Under One Roof has sold out like hotcakes in Taobao. There's also the takeout industry. Basically, whatever Sister E makes, the takeout products become popular. Feel the sales volume of our cold rabbit and poached fish slices. That netizen posted 2 pictures of the takeout platform. The sales volume of 999 plus was simply terrifying. Can one have 99 plus comments? For all, good night. Chapter 109. In addition to the netizens who were shocked by Xiangyi's ability to promote goods, many brands also began to pay more or less attention to Xiangyi. That night, countless netizens were like squid in a melon field, jumping up and down to surf the internet. The next day, the sun rose from the east and the morning light was faint. Li Jinyu got up early and was ready to go for a jog. Yesterday, Two Under One Roof ranked first among the variety shows in terms of viewership. Even though the fans of the various guests of Heartbeat were crazy, it was still difficult to reverse the decline. Previously, the senior executives of Muyao TV contacted him one after another to ask him to return. Li Jinyu rejected them all. The peach leaves are sharp and the willow leaves cover the sky. While humming a tune, he inadvertently saw Xiangyi in the garden. The girl was dressed in a pink and white sportswear and had no makeup on, but she was still as beautiful as ever. However, is she practicing Taiji fist? Li Jinyu scratched his head and couldn't stop the question marks from popping out. I feel that teacher Xiangyi has health habits that don't match her age. The girl's movements were soft and casual, and there was an inexplicable light rhythm to her movements. Li Jinyu couldn't help but be fascinated by her. Director Li, good morning. Xiangyi saw him and took the initiative to greet him. Good morning, teacher Xiangyi. Li Jinyu couldn't help but gossip. Are you practicing kung fu? Xiangyi smiled. I'm just exercising to strengthen my body. Li Jinyu let out a long oh, thinking that it made sense. How could a young girl know kung fu? It was probably just a hobby. He stretched his muscles and ran around the manor. When he came back, he habitually glanced at Xiangyi, only to find that she's practicing swordsmanship. Li Jinyu almost fell flat on his face. His pupils were dilated. The fair and delicate girl was holding a quaint long sword. Her swordsmanship was similar to Taiji Fist, which had the characteristics of being both in form and spirit. It was also ethereal and elegant, with an emphasis on intent rather than gravity. With a light flick of her wrist, she made a beautiful sword move. The blade glowed with a cold light and made a buzzing sound. Li Jinyu was speechless. F*CK. If this isn't kung fu, then what is? Teacher Xiangyi, you F*King call this strengthening the body. Forgive me for being blunt, but if this sword of yours comes over, my entire body will be gone. Xiangyi sheathed her sword and breathed in and out. She found that not only had Li Jinyu stopped running, but he also had a dull look on his face. She tilted her head and asked, Director Li, I'm going to make breakfast. Is there anything you want to eat? Li Jinyu took 2 steps back. Teacher Xiangyi, you're too courteous. He was trembling, but he immediately regretted his words. He changed his words and said, No, no, no. Master Xiangyi, how could I trouble you with something as trivial as breakfast? I'll do it. I'll order takeout. I'll treat everyone to a meal. Xiangyi. You, Master? Director Li, are you alright? Damn, why are you calling him Director Li? You can just call me Xiaoli. Xiangyi's milky white face was filled with confusion. It was very confusing. Chapter 110. Director Li, have you been stimulated by something? Or are you sick? Why don't I take your pulse and make you some medicinal cuisine? The girl suggested in a gentle voice. She held the long sword in her other hand, scaring Li Jinyu into retreating frantically. Xiangyi realized something and explained. Don't be nervous, it's not sharpened yet. Whoosh, she pulled out the sword and wanted Li Jinyu to see it clearly. But the man was so scared that he screamed. He caught a glimpse of a figure from the corner of his eye and pounced on it without hesitation. Shui, who had woken up early to train, calmly dodged the large human pendant that suddenly appeared. Good morning. He looked at Xiangyi and smiled. Good morning, Senior. Xiangyi said helplessly. Senior, please take a look for Director Li. My sword really isn't sharpened yet. Let me see. Shui stepped forward casually. Daddy sure. Li Jinyu watched as Shui approached Xiangyi and picked up her long sword to examine it. It's quite heavy, he commented and brandished the sword casually. Li Jinyu. Why do you know it too? Xiangyi. Huh? Senior, have you learned swordsmanship before? I learned a little when I was filming. Shui's tone was gentle. She glanced at Li Jinyu and said, Ignore him, he's just a hamster. He's easily frightened. I don't know how he made up his mind to resign. Li Jinyu smiled and touched his head. If it weren't for his personality, he wouldn't have wasted so many years at Miao TV. Well, since the 2 teachers are here, let's confirm the time and duration of the live broadcast. Yesterday, our program team discussed the idea of live broadcasting for the whole day on Saturday and Sunday, and about 2 hours on weeknights. He accidentally made eye contact with Xiangyi. Li Jinyu shuddered. Of course, that's just our idea. Teacher Shui, Master Xiangyi, if you 2 have any opinions, we can adjust it flexibly. 2 under one roof must be the most humble program team in history. Xiangyi. I do. Li Jinyu. Please go ahead. Don't call me master. Pondering for a long time, Li Jinyu asked cautiously. Then should I call you Big Boss? Whatever. Shui chuckled. Li Jinyu picked up his phone and ordered takeout. The staff members woke up one after another. Everyone woke up earlier than usual. The reason was none other than that he was looking forward to Teacher Xiangyi's breakfast. In the end, what she received was takeout ordered by the director. Everyone. That's it. That's it. Li Jinyu cleared his throat and said in a dignified manner. Teacher Xiangyi works so hard. How can we let her make breakfast for us every day? We have to learn to earn our own living. Do you understand? Everyone seemed to understand but not fully. They nodded in a daze and then ate. In fact, Li Jinyu was quite generous. The breakfast he ordered was very sumptuous, but everyone felt that, no soul. Hey, look at the trending searches. Teacher Xiangyi actually occupies 3 spots in the top 10. Hashtag Xiangyi's SCI thesis hashtag Xiangyi's dishwasher hashtag just these 2. I just clicked on them. Teacher Xiangyi is really amazing. So is that untimely couple who's 3rd on the trending searches. A few minutes later. I feel like I've opened the door to a new world. Teacher Xiangyi and Teacher Shui? Can these 2 be a couple? Just as everyone was gossiping, someone reminded them. Stop. Shui's agent is here. Chapter 111. The noisy gazebo fell silent for a second. Everyone was scared but curious at the same time. They all looked at the newcomer. A black Audi was parked at the entrance of the manor. A very elite-looking man got out of the car. He was dressed in a strict black suit and rimless glasses. Compared to an artist in the entertainment industry, he looked more like a financial tycoon in an investment bank. Chuanbai, a well-known agent in the entertainment industry. He was ruthless and swift in his actions. He had single-handedly made several superstars famous. As he passed by the gazebo, he adjusted his glasses and nodded slightly at everyone. Everyone hurriedly greeted him. Good morning, Mr. C. Hello, Mr. C. Mr. C. Shuringdi is in the living room. Chuanbai. Thank you. After he walked away, everyone felt relieved. Oh my God. Mr. C's aura is even stronger than the overbearing CEO. At the same time, in the living room, Xiangyi's agent, Anan, was slurping down beef brisket rice noodles. The beef brisket had been simmered overnight. It was soft and fragrant, and when he bit into it, the rich gravy would splash out. The fine rice noodles made from high-quality white sticky rice had a clear and sweet taste. Anan couldn't stop eating when paired with a few side dishes. Shui ate the noodles slowly. He didn't seem to be picky at all. No matter what Xiangyi cooked, he would eat it happily. As for Xiangyu, he was a standard night owl, and was still asleep. Xiangyi had left some food for him. Another bowl. Anan couldn't help but burp. Xiangyi laughed. You'll get indigestion if you continue eating. Anan looked at her eagerly. Xiangyi shook her head and scooped half a bowl of rice noodles for him. The door of the villa wasn't closed. Chuanbai, who was at the door, saw this scene. He couldn't help but think of the post on the melon forum. His eyebrows twitched violently, and he raised his hand to knock on the door. The 3 people at the dining table looked in the direction of the sound. Shui asked in a natural tone. Have you had breakfast? Chuanbai said indifferently. I need to talk to you. Shui wiped the corners of his mouth. He stood up and followed Chuanbai to the balcony. Anan's eyes were filled with yearning. So this is a gold medal manager. He looks so high class. Woo, his hair is so lush, and his briefcase is made of rare leather. Xiangyi. Okay, this focus is very Anan. A top manager? She asked. Anan explained. Chuanbai's business ability is really strong. He doesn't hesitate to tear up resources. Most importantly, he has a good eye for talent. He was the one who saved Shuringdi back then. Save? Xiangyi wanted to ask for more details, but Xiao Naofu jumped into her arms and rubbed against her fingertips. It even took the initiative to expose its soft white belly to Xiangyi. The girl said seriously, No, there's a lot of seasoning in the beef brisket. You might have a stomachache if you eat it. Meow. Just one. One piece. Xiangyi hesitated for a moment, but she really couldn't resist Xiao Naofu's cuteness. She picked up a piece of beef brisket, rinsed it with water, and fed it to Xiao Naofu. Xiao Naofu took a bite, and its icy blue eyes instantly widened. Meow. There's actually such delicious food in the world. This Huhu must be the happiest Huhu in the world. Xiangyi was interrupted by Xiao Naofu and forgot about the topic she wanted to ask Anan. On the balcony, Chuanbai handed Shui a phone, and the screen stopped at the post on the melon forum. Looking for candy to eat every day in the glass shards of the untimely CP. Take a look for yourself. What kind of public opinion has fermented now? Shui swiped the screen and read hundreds of replies. Then she leisurely gave the original poster a like. Chuanbai. What kind of trick is this? Asterisk good night. Chapter 112. It's written well. It's interesting and imaginative. Shui's eyes were full of smiles as he commented. The famous manager in the industry took a deep breath and exhaled forcefully before asking through gritted teeth. What are you thinking? Are you just fooling around or are you serious? I'll arrange the rest of your work for you. Shui said innocently. That depends on her. Si Chuanbai was speechless. The man was no longer as calm as he usually was. He took off his glasses and said, So the netizen's speculation is true? You're the one who's wooing her? I'm not wooing her. Si Chuanbai heaved a sigh of relief. The next second he heard Shui say slowly, It's not time yet. Si Chuanbai felt a lump in his throat. He suddenly had the urge to drink some oral medication. I'm sure you're aware of her reputation in the industry. If you're determined, I have nothing to say. Si Chuanbai gritted his teeth and reminded him like a father. Take precautions, unless you're planning to appear on a father's show in 3 years. Shui smiled faintly. It was unclear what he meant. Si Chuanbai knew that he had his own opinions. Once he made a decision, no one could interfere. As long as you know what to do. Let's talk about your schedule for the next month. Si Chuanbai was efficient and professional. He finished all his work in half an hour. Okay, I'll get going first. Call me if you need anything, Si Chuanbai said in a businesslike tone. Shui mixed a bowl of noodles for herself and asked, Are you really not going to have a bowl of noodles before you leave? Si Chuanbai said coldly, I'm not interested in Chinese breakfast. Actually, he could have settled Shui's work over the phone, or through a video call. The reason why he came was to see Xiangyi with his own eyes. It was just as the netizens said. He didn't even fill a bowl of noodles for Shui. Not only that, but Shui even took the initiative to pour water for him. He even asked nicely if he wanted it warm or warm. Si Chuanbai felt his chest tighten. His gaze fell on Xiangyi. The young girl was busy packing up side dishes, fruits, and so on. She nagged at the colorful feather duster. Do you want spicy beef? I have vacuum-packed ones that will keep for a long time. There's also some pickled radish and cabbage for you. Good boy, that's enough. Annan glanced at Si Chuanbai with a guilty conscience. His hair was combed to the back and fixed with wax. His wristwatch and cufflinks looked very expensive. His leather shoes were polished to a shine. His black briefcase looked ordinary, but it was actually a custom-made model of rare leather from a famous brand. As for him, he had a flowery shirt from Taobao that cost 39.99 yuan, a pair of large pants that cost 20 yuan from a night market stall, and the most expensive sports shoes that cost 100 yuan from a Baidas. Annan was so embarrassed that he couldn't even lift his head. He usually dressed like a decent person. Today was his day off, so he let loose and dressed like this to freeload breakfast at Xiangyi's house. Who would have thought that he would bump into Si Chuanbai? Without comparison, there would be no harm. Oh, here, it's packed. It should last for a long time. Xiangyi used a floral cloth to wrap all the lunchboxes into a half-meter-high bento bag. Annan was very touched. Oh, good boy, you're so good. I'll go back and work hard. I'll get you the most profitable endorsement. It's the easiest job. Si Chuanbai. There was nothing wrong with that. It was just too real. Before leaving, Si Chuanbai casually glanced at the bags in Annan's arms. Inexplicably, he was a little envious. Chapter 113. It was almost 11 o'clock when Xiangyi woke up. He rubbed his eyes and walked out of the room drowsily. Outside the floor-to-ceiling window, Xiangyi was trimming the withered flowers and extra branches in the endless sea of flowers. She was a very patient person. Even if she had to repeat simple things, she wouldn't show any impatience. Xiangyi gulped. It really was his sister. Yesterday wasn't a dream. He subconsciously picked up his phone and typed a message in the family group. Just as he was about to send it, he suddenly paused. If Xiangyu and the others knew about his sister's secret, would he still have a chance to order her around when those sissy-loving maniacs took action? No. Xiangyu, who thought he was the smartest in the family, deleted the texts one by one and swaggered into the garden. He sat on the rocking chair next to Xiangyi, crossed his legs and said like a boss, Sister, pour me a glass of water. Xiangyi stopped what she was doing and her eyes curved into the shape of a crescent moon. You're awake? Do you want something to eat other than water? Oh. Sister is so gentle. How could he order his sister around? Xiangyi was full of guilt. He jumped off the rocking chair and said arrogantly and indifferently, Your legs are so short. I don't need you to run errands. I'll go to the kitchen and find something to eat. There's a thermos in the fridge. You can eat it after heating it up. I know. Women are so long-winded. Xiangyu finished his meal in a few bites in the kitchen and poured a glass of warm water for his sister. He even added honey with a small spoon. Was a spoonful too little? Another spoonful. After mixing it evenly, Xiangyu carried the honey water to his sister. When he was in front of her, he changed his expression and put one hand in his pocket. Here, I poured it for you on the way. Xiangyi took it with a smile. She took a small sip and praised. It's so sweet and the temperature is just right. Brother, you're so good. You can make it taste perfect with just a touch. Of course. Don't you know who I am? Xiangyu couldn't suppress the corners of his mouth. He was in a good mood and snatched the gardening shears from Xiangyi's hand. See that rocking chair? Go sit there. You're so slow. I'll show you your brother's speed. Xiangyu showed her what it meant to be a gaming god's hand speed. He completely forgot about ordering his little sister around. A peaceful and warm day passed in the blink of an eye. At 8 p.m. the live broadcast began. Countless viewers instantly flooded into the Two Under One Roof live stream. After waiting for an entire day, it's finally live. Excited. I see Shuringdi, his black shirt looks so good. Smog looks so cute in this cream sweater. Danger. The little vase has entered the kitchen. Friends quickly prepare to eat. Xiangyi tied her hair into a bun and went to check the braised food in the casserole. The camera panned and landed on a pot of sugar-colored red brine. The duck wings, beef, eggs, shiitake mushrooms, and dried tofu that had been braised for an entire afternoon were glowing red. Just looking at them was enough to whet one's appetite. Xiangyi turned off the heat and let the braised food soak in the pot. She then made some onion oil noodles and assorted cold dishes. Remembering that Li Jianyu had told her to pay attention to her interactions with netizens, she turned to the camera and said gently, A simple and homely dinner is ready. Has everyone eaten yet? The live comments in the live stream. You call this a homely meal? Sorry to disturb you. I want to go to Sister Yi's house with a bowl of food. I'm different. I want to go to the dog's house with a bowl. Chapter 114. In the living room. Shui opened a can of cat food while Xiao Naofu buried its face into the bowl. The man's slender fingers stroked the back of Xiao Naofu's neck. Xiao Naofu stuck out its butt in protest, but it accidentally sat on the ground and let out a cute meow. Xiangyu, who had a strong furry fetish, clenched his fists and forced himself to remain calm. Such a cute kitten. I can rub it until it goes bald. However, on the surface he maintained a noble, cold and disdainful expression. When the food was served, Xiao Naofu jumped into Xiangyu's arms before quietly poking out half of its head. Although the canned food was delicious, it had been full of curiosity about human food ever since it tasted Xiangyi's brisket in the morning. Its soft, meaty paws clawed at Xiangyu's plate, wanting to taste the braised food he had picked up. Xiao Naofu. Xiangyi's voice rang out, scaring Xiao Naofu into Xiangyu's arms. Xiangyi. Brother, it can't eat spicy food, don't feed it. Xiao Naofu whined coquettishly. Meow meow meow, Xiangyu. On one side was his sister, and on the other was a cat. Men are so difficult, cack in the comments section of the live stream. Ha ha ha. Sameo Ji's troubled expression is so cute. Why is the vase fairy so stingy? What's wrong with feeding the cat some delicious food? Hey, did you know that cats can get sick if they ingest too much salt, and that eating too much stimulating food can cause sudden death? Xiangyu hesitated for a few seconds before tactfully handing the cat to Shui. Sorry brother Shui. Xiao Naofu had a natural resistance to Shui, and its little legs kicked in the air twice in dissatisfaction. Shui looked down and smiled slightly. If you eat it secretly, I'll... He raised an eyebrow. Kiss you, understand? Xiao Naofu. "Aw, this stinky man is so bad." The live stream exploded. "Is there such a good thing? I'll eat it, hubby, kiss me." For a moment, I don't know who to envy. I'm crying tears of envy in front of the screen. Shui picked up a piece of braised beef and waved it in front of Xiao Naofu. Xiao Naofu endured the humiliation and turned its face away. Xiangyu was dumbfounded. He didn't expect Brother Shi to solve the problem that he couldn't solve so easily. However, looking at Xiao Naofu's drooping head, he couldn't bear to see it like this, so he ate his meal absent-mindedly. After the meal, Xiangyu drove away the cameraman and went to coax Xiao Naofu with some dried fish. "Xiao Naofu, I was wrong. It's not that I don't want to help you, but we have to listen to our sister." Alright. Don't be angry. Come and have some dried fish." "That's right, eat slowly, there's no rush." Xiangyu thought that without the cameraman, the netizens in the livestream wouldn't be able to see him. Little did she know that Li Jianyu and the others had installed fixed cameras in the bedroom, kitchen, pavilion, and other places. This scene made countless people laugh. Goose. Does he not know that there are fixed cameras? I'm going to laugh my head off. My bestie just said that it's not that straight guys don't know how to coax people. It's just that the person he's coaxing isn't you. Smog is so much like my dad. Every time my mom criticizes me, he doesn't dare to say anything. Then he secretly coaxes me behind my mom's back, ha 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 ha. After eating and drinking to its fill, Xiao Naofu lay on its belly and played with its tail. Xiangyu looked around, and after confirming that no one was around, he plunged into the kitten's belly and rubbed his head against it happily. What? The esports god also likes cats? The netizens exclaimed. I didn't expect you to be such a sameo gu. Chapter 115. Xiangyu, who had been sucking on the cat for a few minutes, was completely unaware that his image had been shattered in front of millions of netizens. Xiao Naofu was dumbfounded. At first, it waved its paws to refuse, but when it couldn't break free, it had no choice but to endure the humiliation. Stupid woman. This Huhu has sacrificed so much for you to make up with your brother. Xiangyu's face was full of satisfaction as he sucked on the cat. He hugged Xiao Naofu and kissed it on the cheek. Xiao Naofu. I'm not clean anymore. Be good, I'll come see you next time. Xiangyu pressed his forehead against the cat's and said reluctantly, I'm going back to the base. When I win the competition and earn the prize money, I'll buy you food and snacks. Buy me food? Xiao Naofu's ears twitched as it proactively rubbed against Xiangyu's chest and collarbone. Its eyes lit up as it said in a childish voice, meow meow. It seemed to be saying, I only have Big Brother in my heart, Big Brother must come see me. The comments in the live stream. Green tea meow, what a bitch. Ha 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 ha, a cat and a man have reached a deal just like that. I'm so looking forward to the moment Smog finds out about the camera. Logic, please remind him to watch the replay. Xiangyu came to the kitchen and saw his sister packing food for him. His heart suddenly softened as it was filled to the brim. Don't pack food, we can't finish it. Xiangyu stuck his hands in his pockets, refusing to look at Xiangyi. We have aunties at the base to cook, and you can order takeout. Xiangyi blinked her eyes, her voice soft. Then you can share it with your teammates. Xiangyu remembered the last conversation he had with his sister a year ago, and his nose suddenly felt a little sour. Big Brother, I'll cook you delicious food when you come back from the competition. TCH, who cares? Okay, don't send me off. There are mosquitoes outside, they'll sting you later. He suddenly panicked and stepped forward to grab Xiangyi's shoulders. The girl's body was thin and slender, so thin that her bones hurt his hand. You're not leaving, right? Xiangyi was stunned for a few seconds before she gently replied, yes. Xiangyu sniffed and said fiercely, if you're lying to me, I'll never talk to you again. Emotions were contagious. Xiangyi wasn't a pretentious person, but at that moment, her eyes were slightly red. She gave Xiangyu a hug and said in a soft but firm voice, I won't lie to you again. Brother, I promise. Although the brothers of the Xiang family all spoiled their little sister, in front of Xiangyi, they always abided by the propriety of men and women. After she started kindergarten, they rarely even hugged her. When girls grow up, they can't just hug boys. Xiangyu muttered. But, I'll let you hug me today, but you're not allowed to hug any other man except my sister, got it? In the live stream. Oh my god, why do I feel like crying when I see this? Samayogu looks fierce on the surface in front of his sister, but he's actually very doting on her equals W smiley face. The romance variety show next door is making me feel awkward. Two under one roof is much better. This kind of warm daily life is so healing. Shi Sui and Xiangyu walk Xiangyu to the entrance of the manor. Let's go. Brother Shi, I'll leave my sister to you. Help me take care of her. Xiangyu waved at the two of them. Shi Sui pushed his gold-rimmed glasses up his nose and said calmly, definitely. Chapter 116. Parting was always intertwined with melancholy. Xiangyu watched her brother's car drive away. She felt a little sad, but she was also full of joy. Her brother had forgiven her. That's great. The moon is beautiful tonight. Shi Sui's deep and gentle voice sounded in her ear. Xiangyu froze for a moment before looking up. The crescent moon was like a hook, and the stars in the sky were like water. She smiled and said, yeah, the stars are beautiful too. Do you want to drink? Shi Sui's casual suggestion stunned all the staff at the scene. Not to mention the netizens in the live stream. What the F***ck? Drink. Two people under the same roof? What kind of direction is this? Boo-hoo, Shi Sui, you're too naive. What if the vase fairy does something to you when she's drunk? What's wrong with Shi Sui? The moon and the wine. Is he really interested in the little vase? Xiangyu's eyes lit up. Sure, the rice wine I brewed last year is just right. I'll go get it from the wine cellar. It's a little dark, I'll go get it. I'll go make some dishes then. Let's have supper while we're at it. Shi Sui chuckled and said, okay, I'll listen to you. The netizens in the live stream were speechless. Shi Sui's tone is inexplicably doting. I have to say these two are so good looking. Just a casual scene from an idol drama. Samayogu, I just left, and you're already having supper behind my back? Is this something a human would do? Shi Sui returned with a small jar of rice wine. Xiangyu had already prepared the electric grill, and was humming a light melody as she brushed oil on the grill. There were a few plates next to it, which were filled with ingredients such as pork belly, squid, tofu, eggplant and peanuts. Seeing Shi Sui enter, Xiangyu said apologetically, it's too late, and there are limited ingredients at home. Senior, can you make do? Li Jinyu, who was behind the camera, swallowed his saliva, his eyes wide open. Big boss. You call this making do? Shi Sui replied calmly, I won't compromise. He opened the jar of rice wine, and the unique sweet aroma of rice wine filled the air. The little girl was skillful, and even the ordinary rice wine was brewed by her to have a unique flavor. One was pouring wine while the other was roasting meat. The scene was natural and harmonious. The comments in the live stream went crazy. Oh my god, as long as these two are in the same frame, I'll start imagining the sweet background music. Friends, follow me and post this sentence on the public chat. Untimely is real. CP fans, can you shut up? I suggest that everyone report them whenever they see them. It's just a meal. What are you guys imagining? Shi Sui only sees the vase fairy as his sister. Oh, Shirindi is pouring wine for the little vase. Isn't it usually the younger generation pouring for the older generation? This microscopic girl felt that Shirindi did not treat the little vase as a junior at all. Hands on hips. As soon as Shi Sui finished pouring the wine, Xiangyu couldn't wait to take a sip. The sweet aroma of rice wrapped around the sweet aroma of wine, and the taste was superb. She narrowed her eyes and quietly savored the taste for a few seconds before exclaiming, it's delicious. Shi Sui smirked. She's indeed a little alcoholic. He had discovered her when she was 17 years old. The thinly sliced pork belly sizzled in the roasting pan, and the fat dripped onto the pan. It didn't take long for it to be cooked. Senior, have some meat. Xiangyu generously gave the entire pot of barbecued pork belly to Shi Sui. A bunch of haters appeared in the comments section. She's finally showing her true colors. No matter how much you suck up to Shirindi, he won't like you. Toxic. Can a woman's value only be realized by sucking up to men? The next second, Shirindi's faint voice echoed in the live stream. I remember that you hate eating pork belly the most? The haters? Chapter 117. All the trolls were speechless. How the F***ck are we supposed to argue with him? Ahem. Xiangyi, who had been exposed, choked and coughed. She awkwardly put down the cup of rice wine and said, Senior, your memory is really good. She remembered that she had only seen Shui a few times in total, right? The number of times they had eaten together could be counted on one hand, probably only 2 or 3 times. He actually remembered her preferences. Perhaps her uncle had mentioned them to him before? You're still as picky about food as you were when you were young. Shui slowly dipped the pork into Xiangyi's secret barbecue sauce. The streaky pork was oily but not greasy, and when bitten into it, the meat was juicy. The ingredients were fresh enough, and the slightly spicy sauce doubled the taste. Xiangyi held the grilled squid with a pair of tongs and said weakly, I'm all grown up now. I'm not picky about food anymore. Is that so? The man raised his eyebrows, his peach blossom eyes full of ridicule. Xiangyi. Because I've never bought food that I hate when I grew up. In the live stream. Ha, Sister E is so serious and hilarious. The truth is out. No wonder my mom isn't picky about food. It's because she has control over our family's purchasing power. When you were young. I remember now. Shirindi mentioned that the 2 families are family friends, so are they childhood sweethearts. After the squid was cooked, Xiangyi first threw the meat into the barbecue sauce and rolled it a few times. She then took a piece of lettuce and rolled it up with pickles and tofu before stuffing it into her mouth. Her cheeks were puffed up as she ate. Grilled meat and vegetables are really the best match. Li Jinyu also quickly asked the cameraman, Old Li, to give a close-up of the grill. There was golden streaky pork, red and tender squid, tender and white tofu, light-colored eggplant. The sound recording equipment transmitted the subtle sizzling sounds and splashing sounds of oil to the electronic devices of the netizens. It could be said to be a feast for the eyes and ears of the netizens. Sister E is so cute. Did anyone team up to steal Sister E? F***ck. The production team is ruthless. I'm not going to lose weight. I just finished dinner and ordered takeout. After watching live streams for 3 days, I've gained 2 pounds. F***ck, Shirindi, can't you just talk about love with the little vase? Couldn't they hold hands and kiss on the lips? Eat, eat, eat. All you know is to eat. Shirindi, you can't do it. In an instant, a silly term rushed to the real-time hot search, and there was a trend of rising. With meat and wine, the sadness in Xiangyi's heart disappeared without a trace. She even clinked glasses with Shui in a good mood. Cheers. Shui followed her here, almost to the point of indulgence. Bullet screen. He. Round it up, this is the cross-cupped wine. You guys sit here and don't move. I'll move the Civil Affairs Bureau over after I finish the takeout. No one would have expected that Shui and Xiangyi's CP fans would suddenly grow stronger just because of a midnight snack. At 9 o'clock, the live stream ended. The netizens were still unsatisfied, and they quickly picked up the hashtag untimely hashtag. There were even some wives who began to produce food. Sweet cookies and Q maps were all over the super forum. At the same time, Sichuanbai, who had just finished a day of work and was about to soak his feet, was so bombarded by a series of phone calls that he didn't even have time to put his feet into the wooden basin. He opened Weibo to take a look, only to see that hashtag Shirindi is no good hashtag was on the hot search list. Is this PR or not? Should I remove the hot search list or not? He lit a cigarette for himself with a face full of vicissitudes. Chapter 118. At the manor, Xiangyi prepared the ingredients for the staff, and everyone happily gathered for a barbecue. Shui and Xiangyi were left alone in the living room. Shui leaned back in his chair and lazily stared at the little bunny in front of him. The girl rested her cheeks on her hands and waited for the rice wine and eggs to boil in the pot on the table. Her milky white face was slightly flushed from the alcohol, and her beautiful starry eyes were sparkling. Her persistent and expectant gaze was as cute as ever. Shui's memories were pulled back to 3 years ago. He had a good memory, but he never remembered unimportant things. He couldn't remember why he went to the Xiang residence to look for Xiangfeng that day. The only thing he remembered was that little Xiangyi was secretly drinking at home. The little girl in the bunny pajamas opened the door for him. According to etiquette, he should have left, but at that time, he stepped into the Xiang residence. The little girl had prepared a complete set of dishes to go with the wine. There were shredded squid, edamame, chicken feet with pickled peppers, peanuts, fried chicken. There weren't many dishes, but they filled the entire coffee table. There were 2 empty bottles of fruit wine and half a bottle of red wine on the table. Shui picked up the wine bottle and looked at the alcohol content. His slender fingertips pinched the space between his eyebrows. The little girl was completely unguarded against him. She patted the furry cushion next to her and said, Sit here." Shui clicked his tongue and said, "You're quite brave." The little girl was obviously drunk. She smiled sweetly at him. As she smiled, she even confessed softly, "I'm sorry. Brother, you're so handsome. I like you so much." Shui covered his thin lips with his fingers and coughed awkwardly. The person being teased didn't feel shy, but the teasing man grabbed a pillow and buried half his face in it, only revealing a pair of clear and bright eyes. Shui bent his knees and half knelt in front of her. His fingers lazily rested on the back of his neck. "You like me?" He smiled and teased her. "Kid, if you fall in love with me, your brothers and uncles will gang up on me, right?" "I'm not a kid." She mumbled in a soft voice. "You're underage." "Can't I like people just because I'm underage?" The little girl asked in confusion. "No," Shui answered casually and picked up a piece of squid to eat, but it was snatched away by Xiangyi. The little girl said domineeringly, "Then you're not allowed to eat it." Shui was amused by her. Stingy. Xiangyi pouted. She thought for a moment and asked him, "Then when I grow up, can I like you?" Shui took out the cigarette box, hesitated for a moment, and then put it back into his trouser pocket. "As you wish." The little girl looked at the shredded squid, then looked at him. She chopped the already thin shredded squid even thinner before stuffing it into his hand. She said in a friendly manner, "Then you can eat a little." After saying that, the little girl tilted her head onto the sofa. Her eyelids were so heavy that she couldn't open them. In the blink of an eye, she fell asleep. Shui. He lowered his head and looked at the shredded squid in his palm. He bit down lightly with the tip of his teeth, and a faint sweetness spread out. He lowered his eyes and smiled very lightly. Ding. The health pot stopped working. Xiangyi scooped a bowl of rice wine and eggs for Shui first before scooping a bowl for herself. Shui came back to his senses, and his gaze landed on Xiangyi. The little girl was stirring with a spoon to dissipate the heat. The red goji berries, the yellow egg, and the white glutinous rice were rippling. She scooped a spoonful and tasted it. It was so hot that she gasped. Sensing his gaze, Xiangyi turned her small face and looked into his eyes. Instantly, she met the senior's gaze that was as though he was looking at a scumbag. The little girl licked the corner of her lips and was inexplicably terrified. "It's very sweet. Senior, don't you want to try it? Asterisk. Is this week's recommendation 10 times better than before? Omega, good night." Chapter 119. Shui narrowed his eyes. "Really?" Xiangyi looked at him innocently. After a few seconds, she suddenly understood. She picked up a clean spoon and stirred Shui's bowl of rice wine and eggs. She pushed it to his hand. "The temperature should be okay." If it were another man, Xiangyi wouldn't do this. But after all, it was her own Zai. Of course, she had to take care of him. Shui smiled ambiguously. "You've grown up." Xiangyi waited for a while but didn't hear anything else. She asked curiously, "At this time, shouldn't I praise you more for being sensible?" Shui drank the rice wine slowly and said in a tired voice, "You really don't know anything." Xiangyi. "Okay, whatever Zai says." The little girl showed a doting smile like an old mother. After drinking the rice wine and glutinous rice balls, Shui consciously went to wash the dishes. There were only 2 bowls and a pot. He didn't use the dishwasher and turned on the tap to wash them. By the way, Senior, I'm going out tomorrow. I may not be there for the live broadcast at night. Xiangyi's voice came through the sound of the water. He turned off the tap and looked back. Tomato Entertainment's annual party? Huh. Senior, you know about it too? Yes, I heard Sichuanbai mention it today. Tomato Entertainment was the agency signed by the one who occupied Xiangyi's body. It wasn't a big company, but because it was good at marketing, it was quite famous in the circle. Xiangyi, I can make lunch for you and put it in the fridge. If you want to eat it, just heat it up. Or I'll try to come back early to cook. As she spoke, Xiangyi suddenly paused. It was just going out. Why did it seem like she was sorry to him? Moreover, Zai couldn't order takeout if he wanted to. It wasn't like he had to eat her cooking. She was a little embarrassed and habitually scratched her eyebrows. The man's steady and mellow voice fell into her ears. I'll wait for you to come back. The warm light dimmed the top of his head. When away from the camera, he was obviously a very sharp and alienated man. At this time, he was gentle like a husband waiting for his newlywed wife to come home. Xiangyi's heart skipped a beat and she held her breath. Suddenly she heard him chuckle and say, with Xiao Naofu. Phew, Xiangyi exhaled. She didn't have time to figure out why her heart was beating so fast. She nodded and said, I'm going to bed. Good night. Good night. These 2 simple words sounded inexplicably sweet and soft when they came out of his mouth. Xiangyi quickened her pace and rubbed her burning ears in panic. The next day, after lunch, Xiangyi began to prepare lunch. Xiao Naofu's portion was boiled chicken breast and pumpkin puree. Shui's portion consisted of sweet and sour pork ribs, thick egg braised rice balls, and purple rice balls with meat floss. After adding cat food and water to Xiao Naofu's bowl, Xiangyi said goodbye to Shui. Senior, I'm leaving. Take care of yourself and Xiao Naofu. Shui's tone was gentle. Okay, take care of yourself and don't drink. I won't. Xiangyi remembered that on the day she transmigrated back, she was drunk in Shui's room. The girl smiled awkwardly but politely, turned around and walked away. As soon as she left, only 1 person and 1 cat were left in the living room. Xiao Naofu jumped onto the sofa and slumped into a pancake. It looked at her provocatively. Meow. Meow meow meow. This is my territory. Shui unceremoniously picked up Xiao Naofu. She raised her eyebrows and smiled slightly. No one is backing you up. Who are you going to be unreasonable with? Kitty. Meow. Xiao Naofu. Why is this stinky man like a villain? Chapter 120. Xiao Naofu kicked its little legs, wanting to kick Shui a few times. Shui saw through its thoughts and, relying on his tall stature and long arms, raised the hatchet a little higher. This time, no matter how hard it kicked with its short legs, it couldn't reach him at all. There's only you and me at home now. No one will know if a disobedient kitten gets stewed, Shui said casually. Xiao Naofu didn't dare to move anymore, its round eyes filled with tears. Boo-hoo, aren't I the most pampered hoo-hoo in the family? Why did Shui, this stinky man, change as soon as that stupid woman left? So be good, okay? Shui's gentle tone made Xiao Naofu tremble. It hesitated for a few seconds, then tried to please Shui. Meow meow. Where there's life there's hope. When Xiangyi comes back, watch this hoo-hoo play you to death. Shui sat down on the sofa with Xiao Naofu in his arms, his slender fingers gently stroking the back of the cat's neck. Xiao Naofu endured the humiliation and thought, since I can't resist, I'll just enjoy it. It meowed happily, relaxed its body, and nestled on Shui's long legs, thinking that the stinky man's muscles were quite comfortable. The next second Shui muttered to himself, I heard kittens can be neutered at 6 months. TSK, I wonder how old Xiao Naofu is now. Xiao Naofu. Damn it, be a human, Shui. This hoo-hoo is still a baby, and you're already thinking of such cruel things. Even the dogs raised at Little Rabbit Farm aren't as good as you. While it was feeling indignant, Shui's thin lips curled up. It seemed that he had guessed correctly. Xiao Naofu understood human language, and even had the thought process of a child. However, it didn't seem very smart to have probed so easily. At the entrance of the manor, Xiangyi saw Anan waving at her from afar. "Sweetheart, here." Behind him was a rather stylish nanny van. The entertainment industry was an extremely realistic place. When Xiangyi was being criticized by the entire internet, the nanny van that her company gave her was in tatters. Now that Two Under One Roof had just started airing a few days ago, the company immediately gave her a new one. Anan opened the car door for Xiangyi and nagged about the upcoming itinerary. "I'll take you to get your makeup done and change first. We'll walk the red carpet at 6 o'clock. "Wait a minute." Xiangyi interrupted him. "It starts at 6. Why are you here so early?" "My goodness, you haven't recovered your memory yet," Anan said sadly. "Can you have some self-awareness as a female celebrity? I'm already late enough. That little demoness who doesn't get along with you has been starving since 3 days ago. She went to try on her makeup early this morning. Her makeup is so exquisite that it takes 1 or 2 hours." "Xiangyi, I'm sorry to disturb. I don't understand the entertainment industry. Oh right, you haven't seen the dress you're going to wear today, right? Here, I took a photo." Anan swiped through the photo album and showed it to Xiangyi. "Isn't it pretty? I've carefully selected them." It was a bright red dress that was very visually striking. Xiangyi pursed her lips, and some memories that she didn't want to recall flashed through her mind. She closed her eyes and said softly, "Thank you, it's very beautiful." Anan didn't notice her abnormality and was excitedly scrolling through the Melon forum. However, as he scrolled through, his face turned ugly. A glaring title came into view. "Take a look at how low Vase Fairy's dress is today." Chapter 121. Main post. Today is FQ's annual meeting. I'm sure everyone knows that today is FQ's annual meeting. Jiang Chen lives up to his name, wearing a custom-made black suit. ESWL. A few of the female artists are also outstanding. Lin Jia's mermaid dress shows off her figure. Mo Li's gender-neutral suit is also very nice, and the most beautiful is Qin Wanyan's starry dress. I found a picture posted by her manager. She's simply a shining fairy, okay? Then came the funny part. Wasn't a certain vase fairy very popular recently? After searching for a long time, I couldn't find any official photos. However, a friend revealed that the dress her manager had borrowed looked like this. The attached picture is below. Everyone can take a look. Today's lowest order. The post also mentioned several of Tomato Entertainment's most popular artists, and it immediately gained popularity. Brother Jiang Chen, kill me. Unbutton your sister's shirt. Mo Li's face is really high-end. She's a walking clothes hanger. No wonder she's a model. Qin Wanyan is amazing. She's a fairy. Compared to Vase Fairy's outfit, Oh my god, look at those sparkling sequins. The Xiang actress isn't going for the cute style, but is she going for the style of a century dancer? Sisters, I've checked the price. This dress is from a niche designer overseas. It's only a little over 10,000. Instead of buying it, she borrowed it. Forgive me for being blunt, but she's so low. To be honest, this dress looks like a cheap online celebrity. Even if she can't borrow a luxury brand's new season, she should at least wear something from last year's fashion week. I feel like Vase Fairy isn't even qualified to be a vase today. Xiangyi saw that Anan's expression wasn't right. She asked gently, "What's wrong?" Anan showed her the post and said aggrievedly, "It's obviously from Qin Wanyan's people. My dear, you treat her like a sister and treat her so well. How can she treat you like this?" It wasn't the first time Xiangyi had heard the name Qin Wanyan. Yan Nai had called her Sister Wanyan over and over again. Xiangyi asked, "In the past year, have we been close?" Anan went crazy. "Of course. The two of you are great, but you're too silly. You listen to everything Qin Wanyan says. She said that the best friends in the entertainment industry are not really best friends, so she never mentioned that you two are friends in front of others. She even said that singing and acting are too hard, and that it's better to go on variety shows to earn money. You really listened to her." After complaining for a long time, Anan finally stopped. My throat is almost smoking. Xiangyi handed him a bottle of mineral water and unscrewed the cap. Annan gulped down half a bottle and regained his fighting spirit. My dear, don't be sad. I'm going to scold them right now. I don't think these keyboard warriors know how to respect people if they don't experience the beating of society. Half an hour later, Annan, who wanted to beat someone up, ended up being mercilessly beaten up by netizens. He hugged his knees and sobbed. Oh my god, they're so fierce. #rookie Annan. Shut down on the spot. #Xiangyi coaxed. Do you want to come to my place for hot pot after dinner? Annan! Exclamation point. Okay. I want to eat lamb rolls. Then I'll ask Uncle Wang to kill a lamb in advance. That's too cruel. Annan said as he swallowed the saliva that was about to reach his mouth. He was looking forward to eating lamb. Oh no, the annual party. At 5:50 in the evening, all the major media outlets gathered at the entrance of the Zmun Hotel. The drizzle couldn't dampen the enthusiasm of the crowd. Tomato Entertainment's official livestream started at this time. Chapter 122. Finally, the livestream is on. The officials are leading the way. Welcome to Tomato Entertainment's large-scale beauty contest. Don't miss it if you're passing by. Where's Chen Chen? I just want to see Chen Chen Cub. Aha! I'm curious who Jiang Chen will be walking the red carpet with today. Is his female companion with a member of C7? I'm dying of laughter. C7, the abbreviation of Jiang Chen's boy group. Please don't freeload off our brother Jiang Chen's popularity, okay? I can't bring these trash members along. In the entertainment industry, Jiang Chen's fans are the most disgusting. They're a group to begin with. Quit if you can. Do you really think you're the best without the support of your fans? The red carpet show hadn't even started yet, but the fans were already tearing into each other. Xiangyi, who had finished her styling, leaned against the nanny seat and closed her eyes to rest. Annan was still gossiping with her. Wow, C7's fans and Jiang Chen's fans are tearing into each other again. They sure have a variety of ways to greet each other's ancestors. Jiang Chen had debuted as the face of C7. After forming the group was only considered a small hit. However, Jiang Chen's personal popularity had skyrocketed due to his participation in a certain idol drama. His popularity alone was higher than that of the other 6 members combined. Thus, Tomato Entertainment began to stir up trouble. The officials announced that Jiang Chen would not be leaving the group for solo activities. Following that, a years-long battle between the group's fans and his fans began. Xiangyi had bumped into them in the styling studio just now. The 7 boys were all very good-looking, but the atmosphere was oppressive. Each of them had their own group, and Jiang Chen was undoubtedly the one being isolated. Xiangyi's dressing room was at the end of the corridor. While waiting for the nanny car to arrive, she accidentally overheard the conversation between Jiang Chen and his agent outside. Jiang Chen, don't you know you're prone to edema? Who do you think would like you when your face is so swollen? Also, if one member ignores you, it might be that person's problem. But if all 6 of them ignore you, can't you reflect on yourself? With such an unlikable personality, if it weren't for me, would you be where you are today? Xiangyi raised her eyebrows. Is this considered verbal violence? Then came a clear but downcast male voice. Sorry, I practiced too late last night and accidentally drank half a glass of water. Why are you practicing dancing? You can't possibly return to that lousy group. Do you understand? No one will like you if you go back. You guys can't possibly have stage performances either. Are there any singing shows in the country? Besides, do you really think that those fools will tolerate you? Jiang Chen, you're already different from them. They need to look up to you. Please don't say that, the young man protested softly. They are all very good people. Forget it, I have nothing to say to you. Remember to walk the red carpet with Qin Wanyan later. I've already prepared the announcement. Don't disappoint me. A few seconds later, the sound of high heels on the ground gradually faded away. The youth outside the door sobbed for a while. Suddenly, there was the sound of something heavy falling to the ground. Xiangyi didn't like to meddle in other people's business, but she was worried that there might be an accident, so she decisively opened the door. Jiang Chun fell onto the ground. He didn't pass out, but his face was frighteningly pale. While he was in a trance, he felt his wrist being touched by soft and warm fingertips for a moment. Then a milk candy was stuffed into his mouth. So sweet, he lifted his eyes. In the dim light, the girl in front of him seemed to be holding a handful of bright stars, calmly and indifferently looking at him. Chapter 123. I've checked your pulse. It should be hypoglycemia. Where do you feel uncomfortable? Dizzy? Nausea? Her gentle tone was full of patience. Jiang Chun struggled to stand up. Leaning against the wall, he thanked her weakly. I'm fine. Thank you, sister. Speaking of which, he had started his career earlier than Xiangyi, but he was only 19 years old. Xiangyi liked this kind of polite and good-looking kid. She asked, do you want to take a rest in this dressing room? She added, you're alone. I won't go in. After all, she still had the reputation of ruining little fresh meats for no reason. Jiang Chun obviously knew about the rumors. He looked a little embarrassed. No, it's an old problem. I don't want to trouble you. Xiangyi nodded slightly. Okay, take care of yourself. Then she really didn't want to continue to care about him. Lifting her skirt, she walked into the dressing room slowly. Jiang Chun had an inexplicable feeling. He called out to Xiangyi, sister, do you have any more candy? Because of the recording of Heartbeat, his agent had been complaining that he looked fat in the live broadcast. He hadn't eaten anything these days. At night, he would even squeeze some time to exercise and practice dancing. He was afraid that he would faint again at the annual meeting. Xiangyi took out some candy from her bag and gave it to him. Soft candy, fruit candy, chocolate, everything. She liked children, so she always had candy with her. But lately, she seemed to have been using it to coax her big friends. Jiang Chun stroked the edge of the candy wrapper and said in a low voice, thank you. He wasn't a good talker. He had always been passive in social situations, but at that moment he started to find something to talk about. Sister, are you a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner? Just a little bit. The girl's bright eyes fell on him. Her long eyelashes blinked. She saw through Jiang Chun's uneasiness and said, shall I get a chair for you? Jiang Chun was obviously relieved, but the next second he lowered his head, feeling ashamed. He felt extremely conflicted. He was afraid of having a scandal with Xiangyi, but he couldn't help but want to rely on her like a chick. But Xiangyi didn't seem to care. She brought a chair with a back for him, and even gave him a cute pillow from Anan. At the end of the corridor, where no one was paying attention to, the voice-activated light went off. It was dim and hazy. Xiangyi didn't talk to him anymore. It was very quiet, but Jiang Chun felt extremely safe. He pinched the pillow. It was soft and warm. The rich milky fragrance blossomed on the tip of his tongue, and the dizziness faded away. His vision and physical strength began to slowly recover. He couldn't help but sneak a peek at the dressing room. The door was half open, and he could vaguely see the girl's skirt dragging on the ground. It was like the red freesia that his mother raised in his hometown, looking at the brightest and most brilliant when it bloomed. She was different from the rumors. In fact, he only needed to use a little force to push the door open, and he would be able to clearly see what Xiangyi was doing. Playing with mobile phones? In a daze? Touch up her makeup? However, the light in Jiang Chun's eyes only shone for a moment before it dimmed down again. When Anan came to pick up Xiangyi, Jiang Chun had already left. A few pieces of candy wrappers were placed neatly on the cushion as if they were standing in a military posture, as if they had obsessive-compulsive disorder. In the nanny van, Anan was holding Xiangyi's handbag for her. Feeling that the bag was constantly vibrating, he hurried to take out the phone inside. My dear, is there someone who's looking for you urgently? Xiangyi swiped the screen. A text message from an unknown contact. She clicked it open. It was a picture of Xiao Naofu. There were exactly 9 of them. There were also 2 text messages. It's very obedient. It's watching the live broadcast in my arms. Chapter 124. A text message from Zai Zai? Xiangyi looked at the photos one by one, her eyebrows curving into a smile. It seems that this man and cat are getting along quite well. Who is it? Anan leaned over to take a look and shrieked in shock. When did you and Shui become so close? Isn't he famous for keeping his distance? Xiangyi. No, I think Senior has a good temper and is easy to get along with. Anan. Have all my years of experience been wasted? In the manner. Li Jinyu was still worried about today's livestream content. Daddy sure, what are you going to livestream later? Why don't you cook too? I remember you know how to cook noodles or something. The lowly Li Jinyu was so engrossed in eating livestreams that he almost forgot that he was a variety show director. Shui said in a lazy voice. Not interested. Then what are you going to do? Pet the cat and watch the livestream. Without Xiangyi around, a certain Shui began to become passive. Why don't you livestream while I watch? Li Jinyu? Where did the extremely cooperative Daddy Sure from 2 days ago go? Why is he so rebellious today? However, he thought about it and felt that it was a good idea. He made up his mind and said, Okay, I'll livestream if you dare to watch. A few minutes later, the livestream of Two Under One Roof began. The netizens entered happily, especially the Shui sisters. When they heard that Xiangyi wasn't around today, they were so happy that they wanted to set off firecrackers. Who would have thought? The man in a gray satin shirt stroked the white kitten in his arms with his slender and pale fingers. He had changed into a pair of gold-rimmed glasses with a chain today, which made his eyebrows look even deeper and his nose bridge look even more straight. He looked like a medieval noble gentleman, with a touch of indifference in his indifference and abstinence. However, when he smiled at the camera, his peach blossom eyes looked extremely affectionate. Good evening. Shall we watch the livestream together? The comments in the livestream were flooding in quickly. What kind of demonic scum is this? I'm done. Another day where I want to transmigrate into Xiao Naofu's body. Speaking of which, Xiao Naofu is so obedient today. Am I seeing things? Why is the tablet on the table showing the live broadcast of Tomato Entertainment's annual meeting? Shuringdi isn't someone who likes to gossip, right? Could it be that he's watching the annual party livestream because of the little vase? At the hotel entrance, the cheers of the fans came from the front. It seemed that the red carpet show had begun. Anan hurriedly clicked on the livestream. The first few people to appear on the livestream were either new artists, or those who were not very popular. There were not many comments in the livestream. It was only when Emily, who had a neutral hairstyle and short hair, appeared that the comments section began to heat up. Wow, Emily is so cool. A model's background is indeed different. Even walking the red carpet is like walking on stage. Sister is indeed the darling of the fashion world. This wide-shouldered suit is the latest autumn collection from a certain luxury brand. Then Lin Jia appeared. When Anan saw her, it was as if he had been injected with chicken blood. It's this little vixen. She's so scheming. She even changed the dress to a low-cut one. The sparkling champagne-colored mermaid dress wrapped around Lin Jia's charming curves, and the live broadcast suddenly became lively. F***ck, I like this sister. Is Lin Jia's figure so good? I'm so envious of her figure. Why is her flesh so plump? I have a feeling that the vase fairy's skinny and slender type will be killed in seconds. Chapter 125. Immediately afterward, the members of the boy group C7 walked on the red carpet. From left to right, there were 6 of them. Jiang Chen was not among them. Fans and fans of the group were at each other's throats. It could be described as a bloodbath. Oh yeah. Chenzai, well done, don't walk the red carpet with those idiots. This small group really has no soul left. I'm crying. Tomato Entertainment's director. Can you stop making fun of them? I'm so angry. Jiang Chen, when are you going to stop hurting the rest of C7? Please make a solo debut and let the other kids go. It's obviously the other 6 who are leeching off our brother Jiang Chen's popularity like vampires. Where did they get the nerve to scold him? So they pick up their bowls to eat, then put them down and start cursing? When passers-by saw the war of words between the fans, they instinctively didn't have a good impression of C7. After all, the fans' actions were ultimately paid for by their idols. However, the atmosphere in the Two Under One Roof livestream was poles apart. Shui wasn't paying attention to the livestream at all. Instead, he was teasing Xiao Naofu the entire time. He took out Xiao Naofu's favorite dried fish and waved it in front of the soft white cat's eyes. When the dried fish moved to the left, Xiao Naofu looked to the left. When the dried fish moved to the right, Xiao Naofu looked to the right. Do you want to eat? Shui asked lazily. Meow. Xiao Naofu pretended to be well-behaved. Shui reached out to it. Shake hands. Xiao Naofu. Damn it, this Huhu doesn't eat handouts. Xiao Naofu remained unmoved. Shui smiled and pretended to put the dried fish back into the sealed bag. Xiao Naofu. Ooh, this stupid woman wouldn't do this to me. She would even break the dried fish into pieces and feed it to this Huhu. This stinky man is so bad. The comments in the live stream. Xiao Naofu is a foodie. Is Shuringdi training Xiao Naofu like a dog? How can you bear to bully such a cute kitten? Let me feed it. Xiao Naofu felt wronged and helpless, but it wanted to eat. She could only reluctantly reach out her pink paw and touch Shui's palm perfunctorily. Shui fed it a dried fish, pinched the back of its neck, and praised. Good boy, Xiao Naofu is the smartest. Xiao Naofu bit into the dried fish and proudly raised its chin. This Huhu is just that outstanding. Shui took out another dried fish and gave a new order. Roll. Oh. F*CKU. For the sake of dried fish. I'll endure it. The cute kitten rolled around in his arms. Unable to control herself, her face fell onto the man's straight and long thighs. She tried to roll half a circle and this time, she finally succeeded. Her belly was facing the sky, and her little head was facing the sky. However, her claws accidentally hooked onto the corner of the man's satin shirt, revealing the outline of his thin waist and abdomen. The netizens exclaimed. F*CK. For a moment, she didn't know if she should be envious of Shuringdi for having a cat to rub. I should be envious that Xiao Naofu can roll around on Shuringdi's lap. The next second, Shui chuckled and said, Xiao Naofu, why don't you bark? I'll reward you with double the amount of dried fish. Xiao Naofu's icy blue eyes instantly widened. Are you the devil? The live stream was going crazy with laughter. Ha ha ha, Shui is probably only 10 years old. Xiao Naofu, although I'm not a real person, you're a real dog. Oh my god, I love this ruffian Shuringdi too. I can't resist the charm of a mature man. Li Jinyu couldn't stand it anymore and reminded her. Teacher Shui, have you forgotten that you're still watching the live stream? Coincidentally, it was Qin Wanyan's turn to appear on the red carpet. Chapter 126. Amidst the misty rain, Qin Wanyan appeared. The spotlights kept flashing as they aimed at Qin Wanyan. Her chestnut-colored hair was slightly curled, and she wore an exquisite crown headband on top of her head with diamonds in the shape of stars. The most stunning thing about her was her dress. It was a long dress that gradually changed from silver to blue. It was covered with a thin layer of gauze on the outside, and the tiny diamonds sparkled like a river of stars. It was so beautiful that it was suffocating. Oh, fairy Qin Wanyan. The screams of the fans broke through the clouds, loud enough for all the viewers in the live stream to hear. The number of comments in the live stream increased visibly. Wow, it's really a fairy. Sister, you've worked hard in the mortal world. Book the red carpet tonight. The moon won't come for you, but Fairy Qin will come for you. Qin Wanyan's facial expression was outstanding. Even though it was raining, she still smiled brightly. She walked to the front of the signature board and signed her name in a fluid motion. The meticulously designed handwriting was light and elegant, and there were even more people praising her in the live stream. Woolly Fairy Qin is so talented, even her handwriting is ethereal. This dress is so beautiful, I can feel it sparkling with every movement. Thinking of the vase fairy's cheap red dress, the fairy's outfit is a huge blow to the vase fairy. Ah, why isn't sister walking the red carpet with Jiangchen? They're clearly an on-screen couple. Although the viewership of Heartbeat wasn't as high as Two Under One Roof, it was still very popular. Furthermore, due to the main theme of the show being romance-oriented, and the guests bringing up their own topics of discussion. The fans of the various shows had already torn each other apart. Jiang Chen's popularity was there for all to see. Even though he and Qin Wanyan didn't feel like a couple, they still managed to attract a group of fans. Jiang Chen's girlfriend fans were very aggressive, and they started tearing apart the couple fans on the spot. It's just a variety show effect. Can a certain female artist stop deceiving herself? Qin Wanyan is 5 years older than Chenzai, okay? She's an old woman. She won't let Chenzai go. Fans of the couple crawl. Jiang Chen is the most popular actor in his career. Don't be like our little brother. Due to the huge number of female fans, the couple fans were outnumbered. Soon, no one in the streaming room dared to pair Jiang Chen and Qin Wanyan up. In the nanny van, the agent was yelling at Jiang Chen. Are you deaf or retarded? I told you to walk the red carpet with Qin Wanyan. Now that you've grown up, you won't even listen to me anymore, right? Let me tell you, without me, you are nothing. I can help you reach the top, but I can also make you fall into the mud. The agent scolded Jiang Chen fiercely, but Jiang Chen didn't respond. In any case, he was already used to it. This kind of verbal violence was something he had to endure all the time. Seeing his stubborn look, the agent was so angry that he wanted to slap him. She was bribed by Qin Wanyan's manager. Now that things were messed up, wouldn't she have to spit out all the money? Just thinking about it was like cutting her flesh. As a matter of fact, she didn't have much ability. It was pure luck that she had managed to raise Jiang Chen, who had made a fortune. Taking advantage of Jiang Chen's easygoing personality, she brainwashed him every day. She had made a lot of money from him. In her opinion, Jiang Chen was her possession and he had to listen to her completely. The agent rolled her shrewd but unscrupulous eyes and coaxed Jiang Chen later at the annual meeting. Interact more with Qin Wanyan. I can help you plead with the leaders to let you leave C7. How about that? Isn't that your wish? Jiang Chen, who had been numb all this time, finally moved. Chapter 127. As Qin Wanyan disappeared from everyone's sight, her fans were still reminiscing about her stunning appearance. That dress is so beautiful. I must buy one as long as I'm alive. Her skin is so good too. I feel like she's even thinner and fairer in person. Did you hear the commotion caused by those celebrities taking pictures of Qin Wanyan just now? I really understand the term cameras now. The sound of the shutter clicking. The live stream was also filled with flattery, and Qin Wanyan's fans felt extremely honored. Does anyone have any objections to Goddess Qin's stunning appearance tonight? Apart from the seniors, Jiang Chen and the Vase Fairy are the only ones of the younger generation who haven't left, right? I just saw the order of the red carpet released by Tomato Entertainment. It seems like Jiang Chen and Qin Wanyan were supposed to walk together. That's not right. Why am I seeing the Vase Fairy's manager? Is she next? Ha, we're in for a good show. This order of appearance is great. Appearing after Qin Wanyan isn't just stunning, it's simply crushing her. Annan got out of the car and carefully opened a black umbrella before opening the door. Tomato Entertainment was obviously trying to stir up trouble. The cameraman in charge of the live stream immediately rushed forward and deliberately took a close-up shot of the car door. One of the fans at the scene shouted, "Demon, show yourself." Laughter rang out everywhere, and the live stream began to mock her without restraint. The next second, what came into view was a pair of sparkling silver high heels. Her fair ankles were exquisite, and they were blocked by the trailing skirt in a flash. Xiangyi leaned out of the car. Her wine-red spaghetti strap dress was embellished with sequins, and her skin was as white and dense as cream. Her frame was slender but not overly skinny. Her straight shoulders and swan-like neck outlined the beautiful curves of a young girl. Her black hair was tied up, but it wasn't tied into a rigid bun. Instead, it was casually wrapped with a printed silk scarf, with a few strands of hair scattered around her collarbone, looking lazy and casual. She didn't put on heavy makeup, and her foundation was clean and clear. Her orange-colored eye makeup looked like it was sprinkled with the most gorgeous colors of the sunset. Her eye sockets were lightly applied with sequins, which complemented her dress and made her face look exceptionally bright and beautiful. Xiangyi nodded slightly to express her gratitude to her manager, who was holding the umbrella. Her bright eyes happened to meet the camera of the live broadcast. Xiangyi, who had a few days of live streaming experience, already had a good sense for the camera. Her red lips curled up slightly, and a smile bloomed on her face. Everyone. The netizens in the live stream were speechless. The comments section instantly exploded. F***CK? F***CK. Everyone's vocabulary was at its lowest at this moment, but as if they were bewitched, they stared unblinkingly at the girl on the screen. The fan who shouted, "Let's go live," looked as if he had seen a ghost, but he was also full of shock. The noisy scene fell silent in an instant. Until Jiang Chen didn't go anywhere after getting out of the car. Instead, he strode towards Xiangyi and bent down to lift her skirt, whispering, "Sister, be careful." Only then did Xiangyi realize that there was a selfie stick in front of her. She didn't know if it was dropped by a fan, or someone had done it on purpose. If she tripped, she would probably become the biggest joke of the night. Xiangyi tilted her head slightly, her eyebrows slightly curved. "Thank you, little brother." The silent scene erupted with earth-shattering screams. Ah! Chapter 128. There were so many comments in the stream that there was a pause. Who said the vase fairy is ugly? What kind of peerless fairy is she? For the first time, I don't think the term vase fairy is derogatory. Can an ugly person be called a vase? Is this a prearranged script? A top celebrity personally lifting her skirt. Even a novel wouldn't dare write this. Is there anyone who can read lips? What did Chun Zai and his sister say just now? Ah, top celebrity X 18th tier female star. Ah, there's another weird couple. Flowers bloom in the hope that you will last forever. It's hard to find flowers when you're idle. Thousands of flowers are hard to look at. Sister is a fairy in a bottle. The description of a fairy in a bottle is perfect. Sister Yi's fans are giving me envious looks. You guys are so good at praising. In reality, Jiang Chen didn't realize what he was doing until later. He wasn't afraid of being scolded, but he didn't want to implicate Xiangyi. His mind working quickly, the teenager lifted her skirt and stepped over the obstacle. Only then did he raise his arm and carefully ask, "Sister, do you want to walk the red carpet with me?" If he had taken the initiative, perhaps everyone would have scolded him alone. Xiangyi didn't care. She had always thought walking the red carpet was just a formality. Since Jiang Chen had invited her, and she didn't hate him, she took his arm. The fans screamed even louder. The combination of a handsome man and a beautiful woman was too lethal. Jiang Chen in a black suit and Xiangyi in a spaghetti strap red dress were a perfect match. Surprisingly, the two's temperament was also very compatible. Jiang Chen had a stoic face. Although he was handsome, it was inevitable that he would appear cold and unapproachable, making him seem out of reach. But next to the gentle and cheerful Xiangyi, he was like a stream during the melting season. His entire being seemed to soften. In the manner. When Qin Wanyan appeared, Shi Sui looked up and glanced at her. She then looked away with a lack of interest and continued to pinch Xiao Naofu's face. Xiao Naofu was angry, but didn't dare say anything. It was extremely aggrieved. The bullet screen was filled with laughter. Xiao Naofu. I'm willing written all over my face. JPG. Brother, my face is soft and easy to pinch. Come and pinch my face. Instead of dreaming, why don't you find a master to perform a ritual, and see if you can possess Xiao Naofu? For Shi Sui sisters, they were satisfied to see Shi Sui. Even though Shi Sui didn't talk much, and just played with the cat, they enjoyed it. Hey, teacher Xiangyi is out. Unknowingly, Li Jinyu had moved closer to Shi Sui. His smile was that of an old father looking at his youngest daughter. He even imitated the tone of a fan's voice and said to Shi Sui, "Please, Shi Sui, take a look at our beautiful sister. It's not a loss to invest in little sister." Bullet screen. The director's online head massaging is still okay. Just when everyone thought that Shi Sui wouldn't respond to Li Jinyu's teasing, the man raised his narrow eyes and looked at the tablet. The screen happened to show Xiangyi smiling at the camera. The man, who had been dispirited, suddenly curled his thin lips and said in a sultry and flirtatious voice, "Sister is quite pretty." Ah, Shui's smile is killing me. Then, Shui saw Jiang Chen rush over to lift Xiangyi's skirt. Then the little girl took his arm, and the two walked down the red carpet together. The man was about to feed Xiao Naofu some dried fish when he suddenly took it back. Xiao Naofu was puzzled and confused. Meow? Meow meow? I'm hungry, I want to eat dried fish. The man's cold and strict voice sounded in the cat's ears. No, you're not hungry. Xiao Naofu. Shui, can you be a human? Chapter 129. On the red carpet, Xiangyi and Jiang Chen weren't like the other artists who were frantically dragging their feet. Apart from Jiang Chen stopping for a few seconds in the middle to bow to his fans to express his gratitude, the two had reached the end of the red carpet in the blink of an eye. Jiang Chen signed his name and added a wavy cartoon at the end. This was the signature of every member of C7. The fans in the live stream were so excited that they were about to cry. Ah, it's the C7 logo. Chen Chen has a group in his heart. The loyal fans were upset, but since it was their son who had signed it, they couldn't say anything. In fact, it was Tomato Entertainment who didn't allow Jiang Chen to leave the group, nor did they allow him to return to the group. It was Jiang Chen who had been stuck in the middle, and had to bear the resentment of both fans and teammates. It was all for the sake of creating a topic of discussion. After all, it was still a topic of discussion. Wouldn't it be great to earn money from both the group and loyal fans? The hostess in charge of handing out the pen didn't even look at Jiang Chen as she stared straight at Xiangyi. The girl was so fair that she seemed to glow. Her whiteness was natural, unlike Qin Wanyan, who looked quite fair from afar, but up close, even her limbs were covered in foundation. Xiangyi took the golden pen from her and thanked her softly. Her tone was polite and soft, making the hostess's heart skip a beat. What kind of heavenly voice is this? Xiangyi didn't use the cursive signature she had designed before, and just casually wrote her name on the signature board. His strokes were forceful yet casual, natural and smooth, as if they were formed by nature. This handwriting instantly stunned the netizens. F*CK, is this semi-cursive? Respect. The little vase's handwriting is so beautiful. There's no harm if there's no comparison. Compared to other people's scribbles, this girl's handwriting is like a clear stream. Even Jiang Chen couldn't help but take a few more glances at Xiangyi's handwriting. He had been sent by his family to be a trainee when he was in middle school. He had practiced his signature before, so it looked very natural. In fact, his handwriting looked like a primary school student's. Sister is amazing, Jiang Chen thought to himself. A gust of wind blew, and the hostess sneezed from the cold. She had been standing here for too long, and her hands and feet were already cold. Xiangyi placed the pen back on the tray in her hands, and pulled off the scarf that was wrapped around her hair. Her fine black hair cascaded down elegantly like a waterfall. She draped the scarf over the shoulders of the attendant, and nimbly tied a knot with her fair hands. Go home and cook some brown sugar ginger soup tonight. Be careful not to catch a cold. It's been hard on you. The hostess. Her eyes were filled with surprise as she stuttered. Thank you, thank you. Whoa, why is he so gentle? It was only after Xiangyi had walked far away that she suddenly regained her senses. How was she going to return the scarf? Bullet comments in the live stream. I can replay that scene 100 times. This must be a girl's gentle charm. I'm being seduced. Hee hee. She's not going to play the role of a retard, and is going to play the role of a gentle person? Disgusting. It's obvious that this was arranged beforehand. At the venue, according to the name tag, Xiangyi sat in the seat arranged by the company. The staff probably wanted to stir up some trouble, so they deliberately arranged the most talked about female artists together. From left to right, they were Mo Li Linjia, Xiangyi and Qin Wanyan. As soon as the other three female artists saw Xiangyi's outfit, their faces stiffened. The cameraman in charge of the live stream even gave them a panoramic view. Suddenly, a godly comment appeared in the live stream. This is simply Queen Xiangyi and her maids. Chapter 130. Someone even took a screenshot of this comment and posted it on Weibo. Soon, it was reposted by a funny blogger, and the internet was instantly filled with laughter. Qin Wanyan and the other two's expressions are so funny. It's a vivid interpretation of what it means to eat a fly. Ha ha ha, probably everyone wants to be the center of attention, but in the end, they were killed by Black Swan in a split second. Seriously, the Suspender Skirt sisters' looks and temperament are amazing. As we all know, there's a big gap between an internet celebrity and a celebrity. The gap between her and the other three is like the gap between a celebrity and a socialite. The description of a socialite is too apt. The Little Vases family is the real deal. That calm and gentle temperament isn't something an average person can have. Fortunately, the cameraman quickly went to take pictures of Jiang Chun and the C7 boy group. The atmosphere in the live broadcast room changed abruptly as they began to tear each other apart. Mo Li and Xiangyi had never crossed paths before, so they greeted each other indifferently. Lin Jia, on the other hand, had been at odds with Xiangyi for a long time. After playing with her phone for a while, she said sarcastically, "Xiangyi, do you know what the netizens say about you? They say you're a vase. Aren't they indirectly saying you're shallow?" Xiangyi said indifferently, "Aren't they saying I'm good-looking?" Lin Jia was dumbfounded. "Are you a logical genius?" She ground her teeth. "But some people say you only know how to seduce men with your face. Even Jiang Chun was bewitched by you, which means..." Xiangyi, "Yeah, I'm good-looking." Lin Jia's eyes widened, her fake eyelashes frighteningly long. You, what are you so proud of? So what if you're good-looking?" Xiangyi, "Thank you flatter me." Lin Jia's face turned green with anger, but she couldn't find any words to refute. Qin Wanyan secretly scolded her for being so stupid. She was choked by a few words. However, Xiangyi was a little strange. She had become sharp-tongued. She chose her words carefully and asked softly, "Dear, I've sent you so many messages. Why haven't you replied to any of them?" "I haven't been using my phone much recently. My phone number and social media account have been switched back to the original one. The one who occupied her body didn't have her memories, so she couldn't unlock her phone or log into her account. Everything was new." Xiangyi quickly transmigrated back and changed her phone number and account number back. Qin Wanyan already knew about this excuse from Yan Nai, but she didn't believe it at all. How could anyone not use electronic devices these days? She held Xiangyi's hand affectionately. "You're not even close to me anymore. My dear, do you have any misunderstandings about me? I heard that you lost your memory. I was so worried about you." Xiangyi calmly pulled her hand away. She didn't like to have any physical contact with strangers. "I'm sorry, I don't remember anything from the past year." Her attitude was distant, but her etiquette was flawless. Even if Qin Wanyan wanted to make a fuss about it, she couldn't. "Then let's add each other as friends." Qin Wanyan decided to play along with her for now. Anyway, with Xiangyi's brain, she would still be fooled by her in the end. "I still want to be the best sister in the world with you," Emily suddenly said. "Xiangyi, let's add each other as friends too?" Xiangyi wasn't keen on socializing, but she didn't reject it either. She casually added the two of them. Lin Jia, who felt left out, said in a huff, "Don't even think about adding me. Even if you do, you'll be on my blacklist." Xiangyi looked down and said, "Oh, Lin Jia?" Chapter 131. Lin Jia waited for a long time, but Xiangyi didn't say a single word. She had more question marks on her head. Shouldn't she say something polite at a time like this? But Xiangyi was sitting calmly, her swan-like neck and shoulders forming a beautiful arc. She looked straight ahead calmly. "Lin Jia, you're really not going to add me?" She suddenly felt like she was being left out. By then, almost everyone had arrived. It was the annual meeting, and without exception, the big boss and the small boss had to give a speech. There were a few performances in between, all of which were performed by their own artists, so labor fees were saved. Xiangyi flipped through the program list out of boredom and found that the last performance was a singing and dancing performance by Jiang Chen's male group. Suddenly, her phone vibrated. She looked down. It was a message from Anand. "Nan on Nand. Sweetheart, Nan on Nand," crying. Jif Xiangyi sent a question mark over. Nan on Nan. Boo-hoo, I'm in the bathroom, but there's no more toilet paper. Sweetheart, I'm willing to go to your house every day to wash the dishes, sweep the floor, raise pigs and collect eggs. Nan on Nan. Don't tell anyone it's me. I don't want to be the dumbest agent in the company. Xiangyi. She raised her hand to her forehead, speechless. If it was a guy, she only knew Jiang Chen. She glanced in Jiang Chen's direction and found that he wasn't in his seat. Where did he go? Forget it, she'd better go in person. Xiangyi left quietly. In the bathroom. When Xiangyi arrived, a cleaner happened to be there. She asked someone to go in and rescue Nan, while she sat on a rattan chair in the corner of the balcony in a daze. She had never been interested in events like banquets since she was a child. She planned to ask Nan if she could sneak out early when he came out. She didn't know if the cat and the man had eaten yet. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of high heels clicking on the ground could be heard. The person stopped on the balcony. With the green plants as a barrier, she did not notice Xiangyi in the corner. She directly scolded the young man in front of her. Are you out of your mind? I told you to walk the red carpet with Qin Wanyan, but you didn't listen. I told you to interact with her, but you still didn't listen. You even went to lift that B*TCH's dress. Why are you so annoying? Without you, would she have died or become crippled? A familiar but weak male voice sounded. Sister Ling, please don't say that. Xiangyi raised her eyebrows. She should check the almanac before going out today. Was it written that it was suitable for eating melons? Moreover, he seemed to be the one eating it. The agent called Sister Ling sneered. Why can't I say it? Don't be bewitched. How could she compare to a single strand of Qin Wanyan's hair? Look at how she's dressed today. She's only wearing a spaghetti strap, showing off her figure so much. I think she wants to slit her top all the way up to her neck. Why do you think she's qualified to appear on a variety show with Shuringdi? Who knows, he might have slept with all of them. Enough. Jiang Chen raised his head and looked straight at her. Due to the fear he had accumulated over a long period of time, his voice was trembling, but he was very angry. Not talking about others behind their backs is the most basic courtesy. Slap. A crisp slap rang in Jiang Chen's face, making his ears ring. How can you talk to me like that? How can you talk to me like that? Have you forgotten who you are? Jiang Chen clenched his fist, but he endured it out of habit. Sister Ling was very pleased. She felt that she had successfully trained Jiang Chen. He didn't even dare to resist. He was more obedient than a dog. The next second. Mother asterisk Ker, UB asterisk TC. Haichu. Out of nowhere. A man who hadn't even pulled up his pants properly rushed over and spat a mouthful of saliva right in her face. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.